Maestro.
Blame me, blame me, blame me, blame me.
You niggas know my pyroclastic flow. You niggas know my pyroclastic flow, flow, flow. You niggas know my pyroclastic flow. It's R-A-W, R-A-W.
You're looking at the Grand Wizard, Warlord, vocal cords so vicious. And I don't have to show riches to pull off with some bad bitches. And it ain't about chivalry, it's about dope lyrics and delivery. It's about my persona. Ain't nothing like a man that can do what he wanna. Ain't nothing like a man that you knew on the corner. Seen come up and fuck up the owner. Seen throw up Westside California. Nigga, I'm hot as Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Utah, I got multiple bitches. It's a new law. Keep a hold of your riches. Dumb nigga, don't spend it as soon as you get it. And recognize I'm a captain, you a lieutenant. I can say what I wanna say, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it. If I call you a nigga, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it. I can act like an animal, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it. If I eat you like a cannibal, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it. I'm raw as a dirty needle, choke a eagle, just to feed all my people. Lyrically, I'm so lethal. Plant thoughts in their mind just to defeat you. Ice Cube is a saga. Y'all spit saliva and I spit lava. I got the fearless flow. Don't get near this hoe if you scared to go. I keep it gangster. And why should I change that? Fuck you old motherfuckers trying to change rap.
Say what?
But ain't you the same cat that sat back when they brought cocaine back?
Say what?
You trying to get me a Maybach. How you motherfuckers gonna tell me don't say that? You the ones that we learned it from. I heard nigga back in 1971. So if I act like a pimp, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it. If I call you a nappy-headed hoe, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it. If I shoot up your college, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it. If I rob you of knowledge, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it. Thank God when I bless the mic, you finally get to hear the shit that you like. A nigga talking about real life, so you can try to get this shit right. Use your brain, not your back. Use your brain, not a gat. It's a party, not a jack. For real. Don't be scared of them people. Walk up in there and show them that you equal. Fuck them. It don't be material. A nigga grew up on milk and cereal. I never forgot Van Ness and Imperial. Look in my life, Ice Cube is a miracle. It could be you. If you was this lyrical, it could be her. If she was this spiritual, cause me and Allah go back like cronies. I ain't got to be fake, cause he is my homie. If I sell a little crack, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it. If I die in Iraq, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it. If I take you for granted, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it. If I fuck up the planet, ain't nothing to it. Gangsta rap made me do it.
Niggas know my pyroclastic flow. You niggas know my pyroclastic flow, flow, flow. You niggas know my pyroclastic flow. It's R-A-W, R-A-W.
Oh yeah, and another thing. For all y'all niggas that don't do gangsta rap, don't get on TV talking about gangsta rap. Cause 9 times out of 10 you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Talk about that bullshit rap you do. Stay the fuck out of mine.
The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
I think we spotted him.
Encounters are terrifying. It was all hairy, from head to toe, thousands of reports. Speaks. You just gotta see it to believe it.
This is a test of the
emergency broadcast system.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, you have exclusively been selected to participate in a dimension of creative science. You are about to experience the sound enhanced by the dynamic ultra maximizer. Caution. Sudden uncontrolled movements of the muscular anatomy may occur. Do not be afraid. These are the primary frequencies created by the dynamic maximizer. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Walking Among Apes podcast. Yo, what the fuck's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. It's a lovely, what is this, Monday night? Of course, it always is. We've been really good about doing this every Monday night, Jeff, except for you couldn't make it out last week because, why was it? I can't remember.
Where was I?
There was something Monday.
Oh, I don't remember. I honestly, I don't even remember what I had for breakfast.
Purchasing a car, wasn't it?
So,
Oh, yeah, you were trying to purchase an old car.
Oh,
How's
yeah.
the car shopping going? I'm going to turn this mic real quick, change the features.
It's going alright. Still working on it.
Okay.
That one didn't. I didn't like the terms that guy was willing to negotiate.
Which was
with me.
what?
What kind of car also?
It was a Ford Edge. He wouldn't come down like $2,000, even though the back bumper had like a big dent in it. And I was like, listen here, I'm not the type of guy that's going to rush out and fix this bumper. So I'm basically signing on to drive a car with a big dent and a bumper for the next 5-6 years. So I either want you to drop the price or fix the bumper yourself. And he goes, this is Jerry Seiner Ford. Or Jerry Seiner GMC. We're not a Jerry Seiner Ford. And I was like, I feel like you're fucking pretty connected, bro.
I think you're owned by the same guy.
He head down to Jerry Seiner Ford to get a new bumper, and he was like, "Oh, we'll just see what I can do." Then he did the whole like we're pals. He called me back. I talked to the manager, and what we're gonna be able to do for you, I think you're gonna like. And I still didn't like it. So
Which was what?
Just $500 off the price. And I was like, so I just no, thank you.
Oh my god.
So Todd from Jerry Seiner,
Go
for
fuck
sure.
yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. So that's what I was up to, but
Well,
still rocking the caddy.
what are you looking for?
I don't even know at this point. I like the Ford Edge. I like the Acura MDX.
That's what I think you
I
need
like
to
a
get.
few other things, but I don't know.
Acura is beautiful.
Yeah, they're super nice. So
Well, all right. Well, we also have two new people who have never been on this podcast. Ryan's here.
Hey.
And we have Scott.
What's
Scotty?
going on?
What do you like to be called? Scott or Scotty?
Oh, Scotty.
What is your name, Scotty?
I'm pretty sure it's Scotty on my birth certificate.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
And I'll have Jeff introduce. She is from a podcast that used to be existent and should come back. It was called Wasatch Front, which is how I met Jeff and Jake McLeod. And this is his sister, which he'll get off his fucking phone.
by far the funniest McLeod.
You always say that, and I believe you.
Jake's pretty funny. I'm all right, but Kelly is no pressure, but the funniest McLeod. This is Kelly McLeod, little sister, my little sister, Jake's big sister, and we've been asking her to come out for a while. She's here, so
We fucking got her.
let's talk about dicks.
Quite a bit of pressure, actually, especially on an intro. That was a lot of pressure.
How did he get you on here? Did he just call you up and say, "Hey, want to be on the podcast?" And you're like, you've just been quaking.
Well, I was coming up here anyway,
Oh.
and so I texted her. I said, "Oh, you're going up to Mom?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, I'll just catch a ride with you and go do the podcast tonight." She's like, "All right." And then about 15 minutes into the drive, she goes, "Technically, you ruined my plans tonight."
Which was
and I
what?
said, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Technically, I did not. Technically, what happened is not me ruining your plans.
We're gonna make you.
She was going to go do something for my mom and act like it was my fault. I don't even know what you were going to go do.
Oh, it was your fault. Like, unintentionally. It's not like you purposely
No,
because
you could have said no.
Yeah.
Don't come.
Yeah.
Don't you just drive yourself.
But it doesn't distract from the fact that, like, if you weren't here, the plans wouldn't be ruined. So you did kind of ruin them.
What were the plans?
You ruined them yourself, though. She was going to, like, go do accounting for our mom.
Plans ruined. Am I doing accounting right now?
Well, I don't think that's ruined. I think
Right.
he
Of your own
saved
accord.
you
I don't think you're
from
going to
doing
turn anybody here.
doing accounting for your mom. So you do accounting
Yes.
full time, or you just know how to do it? Oh, that's awesome. Do you do it for your mom?
Yep. Pretty
Work
much
for H&R
exclusively.
Block too.
Oh,
I
okay.
did.
It's the real deal.
Yeah.
Real stuff.
I would love to. So what is covered under accounting? What is accounting?
Pretty much everything, like books, that type of thing.
Keeping
like
books
just
and-
bookkeeping, expense reports. Like you just kind of say that word as an
People just
accountant.
know, and you're
Yeah,
like, oh, yeah.
exactly. And then you can do taxes if you want, or you can just toss that to someone else if you're kind of lazy.
Yeah.
And just say you don't do it. So you can pretty much do everything. You just kind of pick and choose what you want to do, and that's kind of like what being an accountant is.
I would love. How did you learn to do it? Did you have to go to school?
I went to MATC, just got a certificate.
How long was it?
And, it was only a year. Like,
Oh, so it's a year class.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just for accounting?
Accountants make good money. If you can, I mean, if you can get hired at big businesses or big things,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
That's
they
what
can
my,
make a lot of money.
brother-in-law's doing right now. He's an accountant, and he told me that he has the possibility of making a lot, like $200,000.
Of course, all you have to do is get the
That's
books
got-
wrong and
that's-
start giving yourself a
That's
pay
got to be a
raise.
fun. That's got to be a fun family reunion.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, what are you up to? I'll just make it $200,000 a year. Ryan, you? Oh, on Mondays I go jack off with my friends on a podcast.
Yeah. we're getting places. Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
That's awesome. Did you decide? When did you decide that you wanted to be? Is this the end of the road? You like accounting? You want to stick to it, or
probably. Actually, what happened is I was going to take welding. Went into the shop and I was like, hell no, not doing welding. What else is
was it the
available?
masks that you didn't like? What was it?
It's just open flames. Kind of didn't want them around me. That
Do you have
type
a fear
thing.
of it?
It
Or is
was
it just
scary.
like
Like when I went into the shop, I wasn't expecting it, and then I just saw people like working and welding stuff.
What did you
and I
think
was
welding was?
I don't know. like I kind of because I
Like
did
hot
diesel
glue guns?
mechanics
Oh,
in
hell
high
yeah.
school, and then I was like, okay,
With
let's try
was
welding.
it with Robertson?
No,
Oh, who taught it?
Rex
Kelly?
Rowley.
Kelly has like the same resume as like a 63-year-old like Navy guy. Did a little diesel mechanic, a little welding my one day. We settled on accounting. Started a family, did my thing.
Yeah.
I'm retired now. It's no big deal. Just help my mom on the side now. So whatever.
It's whatever.
yeah.
That is a hell of a story.
Just
I don't-
turned around, saw the accounting classroom, and I was like, hey, you still taking students? And then I started doing
And they said,
accounting.
hell yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. Accounting would be awesome just to learn for myself, just to know, especially running a bit. Maybe you could. What is the biggest thing that you enjoy about accounting? I guess. Do you just like doing the numbers and seeing the final thing, like fuck yeah, I did that, or was it more?
Honestly, it's it's so straightforward.
Is it
Like,
easy?
You don't have to guess. Like if if it's right, it all looks right, and it's perfect, and you
You'll
go
know.
home, and you're just done. So like,
I would like to
It's just-
interject that this podcast is about as boring as an accounting class right now.
it is quite boring. I'm surprised you.
Let's
even
step
asked
it
about
up. What's fucking Jeff's new?
I can't even
Kickstarter this
concentrate because this guy over here is like as handsome as like a character off Gossip Girl. Holy fucking shit! Look
Referring
at this
to
guy.
our boy Scotty.
He's a
Scotty
handsome
has
guy.
he is a handsome man. He makes our family look good. He's not officially in the what do you? Maybe we shouldn't get into that. But he's doing good. He possibly will be. We can consider it a brother-in-law. As weird as it is, it's weird that I would be. What would I be to him, Mikkel?
Would you be an uncle-in-law?
Yeah, I think
Is there such a thing as an uncle-in-law?
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
weird.
So my accounting's right here. You fucked his grandma.
Correct. Yeah. Never met her, but
Okay.
we
That's
figured out
up.
on AshleyMadison.com. What if that would be a weird thing to do? Like, okay, we talked about this.
Don't even get me back into how hard I fucked my friend's aunt.
That's true. We talked about that last podcast. This kid. How old were you at the time of that?
I was
again?
like 22. She was 37.
Yeah.
That cougar card.
Oh yeah.
You got-
Fucking put tax on that ass.
Tax.
This little accounting joke.
It's not.
Oh, it's not. It's not a reference.
Are there any accounting jokes? Like, do you ever? How many businesses does an accountant usually have? Just one?
It just depends on
how big
Yeah,
and
like
things.
how big.
What's
they
the
are.
number one tip you could give a small business owner
Fuck yeah.
like Christian?
Not really, for real.
Definitely taxes. Like, just learn how to do the basics of taxes, because that's
what's covered under taxes basics. I mean, we have a lady who assists us and helps us in our our website that we run it through, kind of forms it all out and prints all the numbers and everything for us. But, like, what do you consider, I mean, like, getting write-offs right, getting...
I was going to say, I think the biggest thing people mess up and what hurts them the most when they get to tax time is that they don't know what they're writing off. Because you hear so much about what you can. And people will come in and they're like, I wrote off, like, my baby's diapers and, like, just all of this stuff, like, my heroin that I did at a business party, like, and you just can't. And it really, like, it screws you over. So that's definitely what I would suggest.
I always get a little jealous of people that have like a business in their house and they get like a brand new truck and they're like, oh, it was a business write-off. I actually write off like half my utilities because my business is in the house. And this list goes on. It's true.
Can you really do that?
I always wonder where like the line, like where do we just like draw the line on like fucking the rest of us taxpayers?
Yeah. Well, the thing what you're really writing off, it depends. Like last year we wrote off all of our taxes. Like
We went in negative 300.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we went negative 300. So this year we're 300 in or whatever you want to call it. But this year we won't be able to write off all of our taxes, which is it's not necessarily bad, but it's not necessarily great. But so finally we can show the government we have income. The business is creating income. So at some point down the line we can say, hey, we'll add this to the income of like when we're ready to get a new house or something, that we have this income, and our business is income. Now, if we wrote it all off, you can't show income because it's okay. Well, I spent $1,300 on my computer and this and this and this. You're not necessarily you're just breaking even. So you want to show income, and then you're gonna have to pay. What's our percentage of tax?
My mom said to save at least 25%.
Yeah, it's about 20. Yeah. So you just save 25% of what you make.
Secondhand information from someone's mom is like pretty on point too.
Yeah, yeah, the government. Yeah, just don't tell them. No, really, but this
smashes, honey.
Yeah, and people get fucked left and right for that. We know. Well, we won't say any names or anything, but we know some certain people that get fucked for taxes.
I'm pretty sure my mom had to like cut a check to the government for like $30,000.
Yeah, she did.
This
just
is
recently.
Her accountant right here.
So that would that'd be hard, man. It's like we're buying a brand new fucking car. That's the thing. Like, did she? And that's what's dumb about like So, I don't know how much she makes per year, and we don't need to whatever. But like, if she makes a good amount or whatever, when you get into that higher tax bracket, now they're pulling more. That say it's whatever of amount. Like, let's just throw out a number. Say you make, I think, when does it start upping? Is it $100,000 a year?
$100,000 is when it really like takes a leap, and like you're gonna be hurting pretty bad. And which is why it's so horrible for her to be a small business owner, because her husband alone like makes over $100,000. So she's just getting so many taxes taken out of like not that much income.
And they don't have any children or anything.
Yeah, like all the kids are gone now. So
yeah, see, and that's the thing is like I know some people that literally will not work X amount of days or something, or they do all kinds of things just to be under that limit. I also know people that do that for like WIC, that food stuff, or Social Security and weird things. They're like, oh no, can't. Yeah, they do.
I love cheese.
You're like Charlie.
The second they take sharp cheddar off, like you can't get it through WIC anymore, I'll start actually earning money. But until then, you don't want to push it. No, I know, and stacking that sharp
it bugs
cheddar.
me too. And I know maybe someone's listening who possibly had a baby, but like, here's a good example of, I don't know. We'll get into government/cops here in a second. This can go with it, but like the government, it's just it's a weird thing. Like I understand the need for it, but I think that everyone should be equal in this way. Like, okay, so here's it. I work full-time, 40 hours a week. I'm working my fucking ass off. My wife works full-time. She's working her fucking ass off. She's practically 9 months pregnant. She's ready to pop.
Working her ass
and
off
she's
for
still
two.
working her ass off for 2. And she's there on her...
That one actually was an accountant.
That's verified Twitter. But anyways, we're both working our ass off, and then we'll have friends, or we know people, or you just people who get knocked up, right? Or they have a boyfriend, they're there, and then they're not married, so the government views it as a single mom, and they completely Medicaid. The baby's completely free, but her and I that work our ass off to save money, we own a small business, so we're triple working. And then she's still at work to the day the water's going to break or the pop or the labor or whatever. And we pay money to have the baby compared to someone who is maybe a piece of shit, or maybe they're working their ass off, but they're a single mom, and because they're not married and it's not, it comes into child support, whatever, they're getting the baby completely free. I think we all, and what I'm saying is I'm not mad at that single person. I'm mad at the system, how it's set up. In a way, there should be some things like, I know, okay, you're about to have a baby, but there's some ways you have to pay it back. In a way, like if you're going to get a free fucking baby, people say we are married and we didn't have jobs, or we did have jobs but no insurance, then it's $15,000 to have a baby right now. Plus they pay per hour of the epidural, plus then the 2 days and the 3 days to stay in the hospital. It's a business. They flat out, we were in prenatal class and like, well, we're running a business here, so this is how it breaks down.
Yeah, you gotta know how to play the game. My sister's had 5 kids.
Single?
On the system. No, she's married.
Well, how did she do that?
They don't make enough money. Her husband was working and going in school, and she's had 5 kids. Wow.
Medicaid. So was it Medicaid?
Yeah.
Oh, see, and that's the thing. Like, I wish everyone could be at that point, but I also wish, I break my fucking arm and I'm working my ass off and I have to get to work the next day. But compared to the guy who fell down getting out of his truck or something and isn't having a job, he doesn't. He can get it covered. I just wish that it could all be just everyone's the fucking same. You get hurt, or we have illegal aliens or whatever, and they get pregnant, then or hurt, or a child gets sick, they shouldn't have to freak out and worry, oh, we can't go to the ER. It should be fucking go.
I think that paying it back would be a great idea, though.
Yeah.
Even though my sister had 5 kids, it's great for her, but fuck, I'm paying for those kids.
And that's true. And that's the thing. It should just be, or a discount. Like, you are working, okay, it's discounted or something, But if you're not, then, see, and that's the thing. I don't know how to fix it. I'm not saying I know. Otherwise, we all need to be even, all on the same playing field, because, it's pretty crazy. It's fucking crazy. But cops, you got pulled over.
I did. At 1 a.m. for not using my blinker.
Where were you at? What
I was
city?
2 blocks away from my house in Spanish Fork.
In Spanish Fork.
At 1 a.m.
And it was most likely not just because of the blinker. Well, the timing. Expecting either a drunk driver, someone who's a pothead. I don't know.
I didn't think of it like that. I honestly thought, and still think, because of how he interacted with me throughout, that
he wanted to rape you.
He pulled me over. That. And
only a slide of titty out of that shit.
Am I bribing you, or no? Just do it. But he pulled me over, talked about the blinker a little bit, and I think what he really wanted was to catch me without insurance and registration, something like that, right? Because when he found out I had insurance, he went and checked. He was like, I'm not going to give you a fucking ticket. Get out of here. You know what I mean? He acted kind of he was helping me out by not giving me the ticket, but I think he was really pissed that I was legit. I wasn't drunk, I wasn't high, obviously. I had insurance, I was registered. I think I was just looking at my iPod and putting a song on, and forgot to turn my blinker on.
Sure.
So you're not nice for not giving me a ticket,
but
you're
he tried to play it off that way.
Yeah, he did.
And that's the thing. I can't really talk too much about. Anyways, there was a certain thing in my work where cops got called and we had to write a witness report, and this was yesterday. So I start writing this witness report out, and flat out, and this is the weirdest thing, we all stared at each other when we were writing it, because the first part of it, besides writing out your situation, was your name, your email, your phone number, your social security number, your address, where you work, your hours, every fucking detail. And I was so I didn't fill it out. I just filled my name out, and I think I did my work, which was the place that I was at, and I left the rest blank. But he pushed for it. He was like, "Oh, do you want to fill all that out?" No. Do I have to? No. Well, then no. Why do you need my social security number? And then the paper goes missing, and someone has my it was pretty creepy and weird. And my boss was just bringing it up. It's kind of like getting to a police state now. Now, I'm not saying 100% of cops are bad people. I get it.
I'll say that.
Okay. Then there we go.
Right.
Someone didn't think it. But no, there are times and places. Everyone hates the cops until you're calling 911 and you need the cop. I get it. There are times and places, and there's bad situations and there's good situations of the both. Now, there are people who take it way too fucking far, and we see them all the time on YouTube. You hear about them here in Saratoga Springs, where we're from. We'll get into that in a second, but just I don't hate all cops, but I know it's that mentality thing. It's kind of like the Army, but at least Army people take it down a bit. Like everyone knows maybe someone who's in the army and they just talk, yeah, we do this, but they're not constantly in army mode every fucking day here at least, you know. And I understand coming back, it's completely different, but it's something about cops. You know, if they're in, I'm saying more city, like Lehigh Police City cops or certain cops. I mean, there's the sheriff's office, and that's a little different. Or there's the ones that work at the courts, and it's the same. It's a little different. But compared to the people who are out there every day in these things, like I was just, or even prison guards. Let's talk about that. Like, I don't think I could ever be a prison guard because, in a way, yes, these guys are Jeff. He fucked up, right? He's a child molester. He gets 30 years for finally getting caught.
That's
and
true.
I was gonna say we're telling
that's
a real
an
life
accounting
story
joke,
right
I
now.
thought we were just going to kind of go abstract with your story, but I guess if we're going to say actual things.
So he gets caught.
Should have seen what that kid
30
was
years
wearing.
in fucking prison, this guy, or whatever it is, and he's there every day doing the same old shit. Well, if all of a sudden you decide, like, and they try to make it hell, right? You're locked in your cell, you're by yourself, or you have a roomie or whatever you're doing, but you barely get out of the cell, and it becomes hell all the time necessarily. Like, they're not trying to make it comfy and chill, and some may like that and some may not. But the point of jail is to lose your freedom. Well, then, if you want to hire a prison guard or me, like if I wanted to go in, like, in a way, you're also being sentenced to prison, in a way. Like, you still have to show up for your hours. You have to be there. You have to do your 4 12s or 10s or whatever it is. You show up over there. You're still there X amount of hours per day in this hell. You're still, and you're running the place saying, oh, fuck you. I mean, there's been I think it was Stanford that did that thing where they took 10 students or whatever. 5 of them were the prisoners and 5 of them were the guards. And within like first 24 hours, they had to cancel the thing. And the study was just pretty much these guys put on the inmate clothes and there's 5 cells for them. And then you get the cop glasses and a cop hat, and you're the cop. And then they started trying to figure out cruel punishments and things like within that fast that they were playing cops and robbers. Technically, the students took it way too far than they expected in the little study, just to figure out with the mentality and how fast it took. And that's what I'm saying. I couldn't be a cop because say you show up to a house, right? It's a domestic violence. Mom and dad are fighting. They're fighting it out and shit. And you go in there, or it's a fight and a brawl. Jesus, did you hear that Honda Civic? So
I'll come back. We really wanted to hang out with you. Cool.
So, you know, if you end up, where were we? We were fucking.
It's the whole thing, like giving people power. Now, like you're taking
Exactly.
it to a pretty extreme level of like, let's give these prison guards power. Let's give these cops power. Let's whatever.
Well, and the thing, it's the buddy system. Like,
just give a fucking 17-year-old kid with pimples on his dick the power to check my ID at the movie theater.
That's true.
Like, give
And you
anybody
see it all
any
the
amount
time.
of power to do anything, and they're just gonna like grasp onto whatever like minuscule amount of power they have. And excuse me, I need to see your ID to get in that movie.
Yep.
Son, I will fuck your mother in front of your dad.
Yeah.
I'm about to go pay $9 for some popcorn. So if you want to fucking bug me, I'm going to be even madder in a second.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my face.
It's true. You give
Give
it
me my
is that
fucking
power
3D
structure.
glasses, you little motherfucker.
You see it with bosses.
Taking them home.
You see it with everyone. And so it's that same idea. It's just the power struggle. And, you know, if you show up to a domestic violence or a fight, right, and you're going in there and you really want to figure it out, like, all right, relax. Because, I mean, all it is serving, protecting. But you get to choose at the end of the day, do I give this girl a ticket for blinkering or not blinkering? You get to choose. Technically, the law just says use your own judgment. Now, 90% of them fuck you. Because why? They're surrounded around shitheads all day. Everyone's lying to them, they feel. Everyone's being a dick. Everyone's talking shit. Everyone's trying to do their laws, and they're always being dicks. Well, it's the same way in the prison system, and then guess what? They come home, and it could be the same way. You treat your wives. I mean, the statistics are fucking nuts. You will end up, like, if you get hired at the prison, I have friends there, they make, the day that you graduate from your post or whatever, the wives or your girlfriend or significant others have to go to a class where they pretty much say it's a 90% chance that you will end in a divorce, that there will be domestic violence in your house, alcoholic or drug abuse will happen, child abuse, or being a stern
90% chance.
90% chance. They fucking said that. Like,
No, I'm pretty sure it's a pretty high number.
it's a
Alex
huge
was just
number
telling me
because
that.
they come home and they can't just relieve it so easy. It's different, and they can't turn off prison guard mode
They're
like
dealing
that.
with real life situations. It's not
Yeah.
like where you're at work where it's like, oh, I fucked up a number, and then you can like forget about it, go back to work, and have like a client be mad at you.
Of course.
You're dealing with real people.
Yeah, and it's a scary thing, and you can't turn it on and off.
Pretty much like war.
No, PTSD. I mean, to an extent, you're drowned over there. I mean, it's not to that full extent, but it could be. And you come home and you're dealing with shitheads, or your son mouths off to you, or your wife is not having its way with you, or you had a really shitty day and the wife doesn't realize that. Fucking go mow the lawn, and you pop. You blow up, you get mad, and vice versa. It can happen with anyone, I get it. But high-stress jobs, and putting yourself, again, you're kind of sentencing yourself to this kind of job that you have to show up to, you become a slave to in a way, and you have to put your time in there in a shitty environment that you also now are in. And yeah, you get a couple bucks more or whatever. But it's like, and then when shit goes down, you can get in big trouble for abuse, or another person says, this officer is stealing so-and-so's things, or he is abusing me, or he's saying, you're always under cameras, you're always under watch, you're always in shit situations, and also if shit goes wrong, imagine I know it's like 1 to 90, one staff per 90 people at a prison, whereas for some freak reason, say the door's open, you're fucked. I mean, you could be fucked. I'm not saying it's always going to happen, but you can look up prison fights, you can look up videos, and you're right there in it. I get it
regularly.
Oh yeah, you have to.
I'll watch a 15-hour straight marathon of lockdown. Right now, even if
the Utah prison's a crazy one on lockdown for sure. Yeah. And imagine working with women. I mean, everyone watches that. Orange is the New Black, and that is Hollywood right there. That's not these Polynesian anyone just ready to knock you the fuck out. And imagine that sexual abuse. Oh, this officer, da da da. If you can't back it up, you were in the cell, no cameras or whatever is going on, you could be fucked. It's little things like that daily. Or, again, let's talk into the Saratoga Springs cop shooting. Say he was at right? Say he could and he did have the right to shoot this individual because he did go after him. What if it doesn't play out that way, and then now you're fucked? Or it's borderline. Say it was close. It was he could have done, and he didn't, or he didn't follow policy in that heartbeat moment because you just drew your gun.
I feel that doesn't happen. I feel like they get away with everything.
Lately, you're right. And that's what's so crazy. And that's why more people need to have phones on. When you get pulled over next time, film. You have the right to film. Pull out your iPhone. And here's the thing. I don't know how it works in Utah with that new cell phone weird law. Because you know how they say you can't be on your cell phone if the car operating. Or I don't know. I'll find out the official things. But if you film it, that way you can cover your own ass. And obviously they're filming and stuff, but you have a better chance. And also they're going to be on their best behavior. They're going to say their word for word. They're going to do their part or whatever if they know they're being filmed. Now, you could also do it hidden, get them in trouble, but you're better off just playing the part, playing the rules, and don't fuck around. Don't carry weed in your car. Don't be,
don't have
drunk
a
driving.
Fucking sword around.
It's true.
Express.
I guess so. I guess he is. And that's a weird one. That whole. I don't agree. I don't know. I just want to see the footage.
I think a lot would be able to get shot that day. Everyone that wasn't walking around being an asshole with a giant sword at Panda Express, terrifying people.
But he didn't. He ran to Panda Express. He wasn't at Panda Express.
Where did this whole start? Does anyone
the
even
gas
know
station?
The whole story?
Ish.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that.
So he ran from the cops.
So here's what happened.
I've heard an account where he asked the cops for a ride.
Yeah, he was trying to get to a job interview or something to Orem, because they came up and were talking to him. So what happened?
Ninja? Was he applying for?
So here's what happened. His mom a week before said, "By Friday, you need a job or you're getting you're getting kicked out of our house." So the mom assumes that day he's going out to get a job. Now, mentally, if you read a lot about him and you think and you're doing all this stuff, he's suffering from something psychological. He's not a normal guy. Jeff's over here fucking laughing
because that's funny to hear that side about the mom. And has anyone seen the interviews with her lately? She's fucking hysterical. Come off it, bitch.
But she lost her. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but she fucking lost her son.
But it's her fault for raising a piece of shit.
Oh.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know him, so I can't say that. And how do we know he wasn't? I don't know. Again, that's what I'm trying to say is if you read a lot about him, you kind of start to learn that he's not just 100% at his age mentally.
He wasn't there mentally?
No, not at the age. Does that, like he, you
Right,
know, like
like
I
he
work
just
with
wasn't, like,
individuals
developed
who
all the way.
are much younger in their head, but they could be 35 years old, but they act like a whatever. And anyways, and so it just sounds like he was just into comic books. This Asian thing, was trying to get a job at Panda Express on his way to kind of walk over by there,
Well, now
just
the
to
sword's
be
starting to
funny
make
and laugh.
sense.
Yeah, because he was trying to make the guys laugh during a job interview, like, oh, you know, and he's into Asian stuff, all that anime, and that was his thing, I guess.
Comic-Con.
So he's on his way over there and stuff. And where it becomes blurry is the cops say that he lunges at him, but then they shot him 5 or 6 times in the back, running as he was running away. And now their justification was saying that he was running and they thought he was going to kill people at Panda Express or something. Right. Which he wasn't even near Panda Express. This all happened at that gas station. Panda Express is here. So he started running after he got shot, but I don't know what happened. That's what I'm saying. I just want to see the footage. Then it all makes sense. But they won't, as far as I know.
They won't release it.
But
Isn't it all like a matter of public record? Like we should be able to see
at some point,
everything?
I believe we should. I mean, I don't know. And so they're just trying to demeanor his like his character. They ruined it like by saying he did drugs or DMT in the past 8 months or whatever. Like all these crazy things. But even it doesn't matter. Like so does Bill Maher. So do all these people do these drugs. And it just imagines what happened the second you said, "Hey, come here." Like that's when it should start. That's when the character things. So they just. I don't know what happened. I never read the official ruling today, but the cops did get away with it. They were ruled that it was okay. Now, again, I wasn't there. I didn't read all the paperwork. I don't know exactly what happened. All I know is if I'm a cop and the guy's running away, okay, maybe shoot him in the leg or something. You know, if he really did lunge at you or whatever, of course. Yeah. Pepper spray, tase. Gun would have been the last thing I would have really gone for.
What do you think if they just had rubber bullets unless it was like really, really dramatic?
Of course, but then I don't know how they'd have to have 2 guns.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They already do. I'm pretty sure they have 3 on them.
You're probably right.
No, I was telling me, I'm pretty sure they have 3 on them. They have like 30 bullets or something. They have like 60 bullets.
And then probably some more in their car. I know they have shotguns in their car.
But I mean, I think first thing should be.
Well, just say he does lunging or whatever.
There probably should always be at least one cop there that's got like a shotgun with like a beanbag in it. Just at very least, he could at least try.
Well, yeah, but even at the end, like, just end the threat. And that's what I'm saying. This guy didn't need to be 5 times shot in the back. At this point, you've watched cops a million times. They run. They fucking chase these guys in L.A. They jump fences. They chase them. He's running 30 feet. And he has a samurai sword. Then what do? You run up behind him and tase him.
What makes
or
sense?
You do, or shoot him in the leg and wound him, and the threat's ended.
What honestly makes sense to me is cops should be allowed to use equal or lesser force. So they should have brought a samurai sword out and fucking sword fight the motherfucker.
I hear that.
Well,
like the good old days.
There we go. Let's sword fight.
Hold on, wait. Gotta get in my trunk.
Yeah.
And pull out my katana.
He waits. But yeah, apparently he was joking with them and was just asking. He's like, hey, can you guys give me a ride to Orem? I have a job interview or something. And they apparently were looking to do or actually do that or something is what someone was saying.
Let's keep in mind that like 90% of cops like are junior college, like community college dropouts that like played high school football their whole life and suffered a few concussions. Like they're not the best decision makers.
Don't we have a friend who's going to the academy?
Let's keep that in mind before we just really throw out like their judgments.
No, and it's and to an extent it's true, man. The individuals, I mean the cops that I saw every cop we've called from a certain department, I won't say, has been way scrawnier, way skinnier, and way smaller than me. And I get it, but I think it comes into play of height sometimes too. Like they call it small man syndrome, but it's that whole thing of I got bullied in high school, I wasn't liked in high school, or this. Oh, I'll show. It's not. They're not going into it like I'll show them, but it's I don't want to do the army, but can I make good money? I could do this, and it's the whole structure part that they like and they dig, and that's what I was trying to say with the whole. If you get called 911, show up to a domestic fight. Why I would not make a good cop is because I'd want to resolve the issues. I'd show up. What the fuck's wrong? Chill out. All right, let's calm down. What happened? And then you have 4 of the 5 other officers, big, testosterone, fucked out, whatever, and just like, what? Come on, fuck it, like, because they want to throw down, they want to arrest, they want to beat, they want to handcuff, they want the arrest, and they want to do that shit. Whereas it should be back in the old day, you hear about it, you see it all the time. That like they're not driving SWAT fucking armored machines and these tanks and everything. They were. Everyone knew them in the neighborhood, and everybody knew them on the corner, and they talked and they justified. And they were family friends, and everybody knew these people. But now and I get it. The other side's changed, but I'm not justifying and I'm not hating. I just don't know what the fuck's going on. It sounds like it's getting crazy. That's all I know. Maybe it's just getting crazier because we're finally able to see more videos. Maybe this has always happened, you know. Like during the 80s, and we just haven't had accounts or known about these, or it hasn't been that shareable. Whereas now, anything and everything, I can look up a ton of cop videos that happen today, or shootouts, or whatever, or Ferguson and all this stuff. So I don't know. But Jeff wants to talk about something funny, so he's getting bored out of his fucking mind over here. I can see it. What do you want to talk about? Tell us a fucking joke out of your Twitter. What'd you write down on your handy notebook?
I haven't written anything down tonight. Yeah.
Oh, so you write things down, and then when you think of it, then you say it.
Yeah, I was like, I was intrigued with what you were saying there about the cops.
Well, I think you're right too, though. What you were saying. So
I just think like there should be no Kelly probably should have got a ticket last night for not using her blinker. Like you should get a ticket if you're speeding. They shouldn't let you off. They shouldn't lower the ticket because once you get into this whole judgment thing, that's why cops' jobs are so tough. Because now every asshole that gets pulled over knows about 6 other people that didn't get a ticket, and now they hate the cops. It just needs to be black and white. They're not your fucking friend because they come up to the car like they're your pal.
Not the ones I've met.
Like my friend, he went through the academy and he said there is a portion of the academy that you want to try to relate to the suspect or to the person or to whatever. Now some maybe better not than others, but how many? I mean. Maybe it hasn't happened to you guys. I've been pulled over quite a bit, and every time they come up, they notice something in your car, like I have like a Colts wallet or a sticker on the back of your car for like the Raiders. Well, the Raiders is a bad example because you are a piece of shit. But like the Steelers or whatever, and the cop comes up and he's like, "Oh, like Colts fan, like how you like?" They're like supposed to try to relate to you to like humanize the situation, so they're not like your enemy. But the problem is they shouldn't be. They should be like, you were going 9 miles an hour over. Here's the book, 9 miles an hour over in a 65. Here's your ticket for whatever. There should be no, you get away with it sometimes and sometimes you don't. It should all be black and white out. In my opinion, out there, it should be black and white.
I mean, I do understand your point, but say your wife's having a baby, I'm running to American Fork Hospital, then it's not so black and white. I'm speeding. I've got to go. She's giving labor. She's ready, or a gunshot, or someone's hurt, or you don't want to call an ambulance because it's a $14,000 ride to ride 10 minutes. Where does it come into play? That's where it cannot go black and white.
Right.
That's where you have to have asterisk.
See, and I don't. I just feel like anyone can make their situation, because then it just turns into like a slippery slope. Like, well, I was going to be late to work, or my baby was due, or like
that just barely happened.
My husband just had a heart attack. You just don't speed if you don't want to get a ticket.
Well, that's true. Get a cop radar has saved me so much money. A cop radar has saved me
because if you really want
to have in your car,
I mean, if you really want to break it down, like that time that like if you got pulled over by a cop while you were driving to the hospital, like are you just going to keep driving to the hospital?
Depending on
like you're just going to let them pull, like if the cops lights behind you,
you can't do that. All you have to do is you have to call 911 and just say, "Hey, the officer behind me who has his lights on, probably following the car that's not pulling over. My wife is," because that just barely happened. There was a story of that the guy, his wife was giving labor, whatever, and he didn't pull over, and then finally he did pull over. And then the cop came up, started talking. He's like, "Dude, my wife's in labor." Like, look. Oh, okay. And then he finally gave him a police escort and then gave him a ticket as well.
Right. I would argue that 65 to like 70 miles per hour is probably going to get you to the hospital in time anyway. And then I would also argue the other point of, like, that's really not safe. Driving, like, erratically 90 miles an hour while your wife's in labor, it's not safe for her. Screaming kids or screaming wife, possibly kids in the back, you're freaking out, you're not in like the proper emotional state to drive. I hope a cop pulls your crazy ass over because I'm driving on these roads too, just because labor came out of nowhere like that. Now like I've got to be put at risk. And that's what cops are there to do. They're supposed to be there to protect society from these like anomalies or these things that happen.
Yeah.
And when you when you give these cops all these gray areas, all you do is the gray areas get this big and then this wide, this big and this wide on every different issue or every different person. It just causes a lot more problems. And statistically, if just everybody just obeyed the traffic laws, you're probably going to get there faster anyway, because if everyone's just is properly obeying traffic in these emergency situations, you're probably going to get there just as fast going the speed limit.
Yeah, possibly.
I mean,
I don't know. It just depends. I think there needs to be, except for emergencies. Like, say my wife she's allergic to bees. She gets stung by a bee. We have minutes to the countdown. Now what? You call an ambulance. By then, 10 minutes later, an ambulance shows up. By then, and I don't have an EpiPen on me. That's what I'm trying to say is...
Right, and I understand that. So
except for emergencies.
Right, but then, like, everyone's emergencies are different. Like, I'm not allergic to bees. Like, so now I've got to, like... It's just all I'm saying is it's not easy. There should never be a scenario where you're like, well, it was an emergency. Or if that's the case, they need to have a list of emergencies that are applicable.
And that's what I'm trying to say, is that there needs to be certain emergencies that would cover.
But then it's just so...
But as well,
all-encompassing, then why?
At 1 a.m, she doesn't do a blinker. She's not hurting too many people. You can justify not giving one if you can teach. Then next time maybe she'll be more diligent about it. She'll learn. She'll do it.
But you can't teach someone to forget, to not forget.
Yeah, but I mean that's something that if I get pulled over for something or a certain area, your brain relax. Okay, I don't want a fucking $100 ticket. Like or enough pings, you finally get in trouble and your license gets taken away, or enough DUIs, you're fined whatever, your car is taken, or you have to get the install machines $10,000 plus And I understand but you see people with the texting and the cell phone. That's a law, right? Are you following it all the time? I'm not all the time. I'll be honest.
I never follow that law.
Not
even one time.
But I understand the need for that law because there's no doubt where I'm driving not having my phone, I see other people and I'm like,
and they're swerving.
Fucking assholes. Why? But then everyone kind of is that.
If a cop pulls me over and I'm texting and I'm caught, I don't expect...
No, I don't expect to get out of that one.
My ticket.
Yeah, that's true.
It's whatever. But like I said, I don't think you can teach people to not make mistakes. There's not a way to train not to make
Another
mistakes.
thing is also know your rights. I think that a lot of people don't know their rights when it comes down to pullover situations. There's a good documentary, Flex Your Rights. There's tons of them out there, but just know your rights of what you're allowed to say and what you can say, and not necessarily getting out of the ticket. I get it, but it's either am I being arrested or am I free to go?
Right.
Am I being detained?
No one hates cops more than me. Like I literally
I
vehemently hate cops.
I think he's got a pretty good one too.
You get into these situations, like I watch them on YouTube all the time, like the people just being dicks to cops.
Well, sure.
Like, what do you have to There's really nothing. Like whenever I hate cops passionately, but when one pulls me over, I don't want to get shot. This guy's a high functioning retard with a gun. Like you should treat cops the same way you should treat a stranger with a gun. If a stranger with a gun points at you and says, "Give me your fucking wallet," or "Get on the fucking ground," you would probably get on the fucking ground because this crazy asshole has a gun. That's how you should treat a cop. That's just another crazy asshole with a gun.
Yeah.
Like you should just, to me, just be respectful. Have the deal with them for as short amount of time as possible, and just go on your way and understand that they're pieces of shit.
Yeah,
that are just they're happy to slow you down. They're happy to not solve real crimes. They're happy to just pull you over at 1 a.m. Meanwhile, I'm sure in that same exact city, probably within a 0.5 mile radius, there was somebody's car getting broken into, or some wife getting punched in the mouth, or some kid being molested. But thank you for stopping Kelly, because at 1 a.m, no other cars on the road. She didn't turn her left blinker on. Thank you, officer. You just have to understand that. That's how it's going to be.
It's true. You got a good point. It's a sticky situation. It is. I mean,
but this guy has a situation.
Oh, I just don't like the judgment side of it.
Yeah,
thank you. That's my other piece.
Where they get to judge, what happens to you.
Right. That's
can turn your whole life around.
Yeah, that's the other piece of it, and that's another one where I'm kind of on that. That one's it's hard for me to even rationalize my own thinking in this, but to me that's another black and white situation. That's kind of why you have a judge there, because every situation isn't black and white, and they need to take all this different evidence into account. But yeah, that's a bummer, man. Some guy just judging what's going to happen to you forever just because of some evidence that was presented, whether fairly or unfairly.
Yeah, it's a dumb situation.
Or look at dads that can't see their kids. That's a tough one for me.
Especially here in Utah too, it's very favored towards women whatever. But if you're a piece of shit mom you're taking your kids out to parties and you're this piece of shit or whatever, you probably have a greater chance. Even though if the husband was actually the good character, let's just say, and he had a full job, sustain, he could do everything, and he actually loved his kids and wanted his kids and wouldn't take them to parties and would be a dad, most likely the mom will get the child. And that's just one thing that's got to change.
I hate doing this, and if I do remember, like, I'll tell Christian so he can, like, put it out there. There's a documentary on that where it goes into detail of multiple, like, dads in situations like that, and gives their whole backstory, shows exactly what happened, and how corrupt of the system is, and how it's just a huge money-making machine for lawyers and judges that are over these cases. And a lot of divorce law lawyers end up becoming judges, that one day they can go judge a case and the next day they can go work at the law firm that they just presided over a case for, back and forth. Just like, and I'll really try to remember, but because it is like divorce is like big business.
Oh yeah, like because they're constantly happening too. Yeah. And a lot of people are jumping into marriages that
divorce like law in that documentary explains it, and I really will try to remember the name of it. But there's no incentive for the lawyer to ever resolve the case, because the longer he spans it out
or fights for certain items between the split.
That's why when you get divorced, the very first thing they want is all your financial records. What do you own? What are your assets? I'm sure they present it to the wife as like, hey, we got to make sure you're taken care of and you get like what's like due to you to help you and your kids. But all they're doing is like looking at dollar signs and wondering how long they can stretch this out, how much you're worth, how long they can stretch this out, and exactly what they're going to benefit from it. There's no incentive.
You can get
the whole
a divorce
thing's in California
on LegalZoom.com if you want. Did you know that?
The whole documentary is like
$100.
Based in California, goes over the whole thing about how it's just big business.
But that makes a lot of sense.
Oh,
because, I mean, that's the one thing about lawyers is it should be kind of like a doctor's. It's one of those things that everyone's at one point in their life or multiple will need, and it should be a public thing, and they should get paid a set amount, a good amount, and fight for whatever. And I understand the big situations, right, that they want to take on. You can get more money out of it, and they take percentages of what you get in the long term. And so it's pretty, again, in a divorce, if the wife ends up getting more and you're the lawyer for the wife, you're going to get more.
It's called Divorce Corp. Kelly just pulled it up. Please watch that.
It's on Netflix.
I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. I watched it on YouTube, actually. Divorce Corp, like, prepare to, like, hate America.
Okay.
Hate our judicial system.
There's
just like what you're saying. Hate, like, these people that are these greedy, like, fucks are in charge. Could potentially take a right away from you for the rest of your life. Like, I don't know your story, but like you said, potentially
in Hollywood, it's horrible.
They can just make a decision and go, you know what? You're done. Like, you're done forever. Because I think so.
And that's when suicide comes into play.
Because
and things like that.
The fucking Starbucks person fucked up my drink on the way here. I got cut off twice, and like my wife like forgot to like clean my robe, so I got to wear my dirty robe to court today. Like, now I'm in a bad mood, so fuck you, man. Like,
and it's true. It needs to come into. It's a weird situation. All that is.
I work with lawyers all the time. Like, I have like several clients that are lawyers, and they try to like keyword target like drunk driving or different areas like that.
Yeah.
But they try to target, like, so I have one lawyer specifically that's in Florida, and he tries to target a certain area.
Like, just say American Fork drunk drivers.
Yeah. Well, he tries to really target them because they make more money, but he tries to target like underage drunk drivers. Because he knows if they get caught, then their parents are going to have to pay for a lawyer. Right. And if he wins their case, they're going to make so much more money than regular, just the Joe Schmo, like, blue-collar kind of targets. And, like, he totally is just like, yeah, dude, I'm a fucker, but it makes me money. And, like, he's using my,
techniques.
My techniques, our strategies to benefit this. And he's like, he's winning these. Like, I'm pretty sure he was telling me about a drunk driver that hit a girl. He's like, I know the kid was totally in the wrong. He was writing this, like, we were writing a blog post on it, and he was like, he didn't use any names or whatnot, but he's like, it was my client, and so, like, I had to win him the case. I won him the case, and he's like, I feel bad, like, he shouldn't have won. He should be in jail right now, but he was really only in jail for 30 days or something.
Right, but why not? I mean,
it's just
like, make the money. Like, that's what he's there to do, is make money.
I know it's crazy that we give him that freedom to where just like, all right, yeah, dude, if you can make money, like, give us money to make you money to make it just more corrupt. Like, I feel like I'm just feeding the whole cycle. It's crazy, and the guys just totally know. You know, he's like, "This is my profession. This is what I got to do."
That's what most of making money is figuring out a way to get money from people that don't know how to do what you do.
Yeah,
and that he's just doing a very good job.
A very good job. Like, I can't believe it. It's just crazy that we give them these opportunities to where we're just like, all right, you know, like you can target these markets, you can find these people, and you know, you can make a crazy living off of it. And this girl's family, you know, it's just like he was in jail for 30 days. Like,
that's
it. Yeah.
And that's when another lawyer is going to become involved because a shotgun is going to come to his head the second he ends out that jail. You know, and that's another weird thing too. Like I have a friend, and he's related to so and so and someone's uncle. So he comes home, right? He comes home one day. If I've told this on the podcast, remind me. But he comes home one day, sees a truck out in the driveway. He's like, "What the fuck?" Because it's not his truck. So, of course, he's walking in, think he's going to walk in. You know, his wife's fucking someone. Oh, great, classic. So, what does he do? He just walks, calls for her name. No answer in the house. He's like, this is weird. So, he walks upstairs, peeks out the window, looks down. They have a hot tub out back. She's fucking this guy. Doesn't know who this guy is. What does he do? He walks to his safe, grabs a shotgun, walks outside, points it right down his spine, and blows it. Fucks the guy all up in the hot tub and this, and she's screaming and whatever. And, yeah, he's in prison and stuff. But it comes down to where are you mentally at the time of the point of the crime. Like, I'm not saying that guy was in the right. But when you come home and the person you love, you spend your child, you know, your wife and also the mother of your kids, and you've spent 20, 30 or whatever years together, and you also your heart's with them. And the second that you don't, your mind thinks, you know, it has a story in its head, and then it hears and visualizes and sees it otherwise. Your brain can't fuck with. It's like, whoa. This is not my story. This is not what's going. You can't even comprehend it. That's when it comes down to suicide, or you don't think rationally. And I'm not saying again that guy should have killed so and so, but was he at his baseline normal self at that time of the moment? Was he psychologically, whatever he was? Or was he someone else? And I'm not saying let's fight it. Yeah, lawyer it. But it's like, I don't know how to... You can't end his life. I get it. I can understand maybe a brawl and a fight and you get in trouble and stuff like that. But I wasn't him, and I didn't walk home seeing my wife fuck a guy in the hot tub, not knowing my story was my story, and actually it was false. And that would fuck with any guy's head. I mean, let's be honest. It's just, it comes into your evolutionary mindset, comes right back, and you're the fucking silverback gorilla, and it's primate, and you're going to kill. It's like, your property's now taken, fuck you, I'm going to kill you. And of course it's unfortunate. It's just, people don't realize we haven't caught up to our evolutionary biology. We are fucking, like, the people who feel, anxiety sitting there with, and they're your secretaries, or they're at work in their little cubicles, that's not anxiety. Like, you don't get your turned in on time and stuff. When fucking how many million or thousands of years we go back, and we're running from saber-toothed tigers, fucking woolly mammoths, and you have to hunt for every meal. And like, that was real anxiety. That was like, holy shit, you actually have to protect yourself because you're living in a fucking cave or a hut, and you have to protect your group. Now we're here in fucking cubicles, and you're feeling anxiety because your boss said, oh, you were 5 minutes late for your break, and now you're stressed you might lose your job. But you're feeling the same heights. It's like we haven't even caught up to slow down and be like, okay, whatever. Like, there was a cool picture I saw today, and it was a picture of the universe, and then the picture right under it was someone at the cubicle, and they said, and it just showed like the little arrow of like where we were in the Milky Way. It's like, you're living here to do this. Like, it was just a little cubicle. It was like, what the fuck are we doing? Why don't we do... And that's what I'm trying to say, is if you want to do something, or you have a podcast you want to do, or you have an idea, you want to write a book, you want to be in a movie, you want to be a fucking stand-up comedian, go fucking do it. Go try. Because you're going to fucking die. And it's better than the cubicle, it's whatever. Go do your thing. Or do something on the side. Again, do whatever you want to do, but at least follow some sort of passion of yours before you fucking die. Like, I don't get it. It's just... It was a cool picture. Just put it in perspective, like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this shit? Why am I putting up with this shit? Or bosses or things. Go fucking try to do something. If you fail, guess what? There is suicide, or you can go do whatever the fuck you want.
Always an option. Just want to put that out there. Suicide, always an option.
It's not a bad way to go, like that Oregon chick. I don't blame her, man. If you had cancer, you knew it was about to go. I don't know what day she was supposed to go.
Did, and she went through with it?
She should have. I thought she was going to back out. I was getting upset.
I thought she backed out.
No,
Wait,
she
what? I
decided
didn't
to
hear
do it
anything
the
about
next day.
this.
So this
She did it
girl,
on the
this
second
wife had cancer. It was terminal. She was going to die. Then she decided, before it gets all bad, I'm choosing this date because in Oregon it's legal. You can commit suicide, which is
They call it, like,
what are they going to do? Arrest you or
They call
something?
it
If you
death
put
with dignity.
yeah,
You
and
can
so you
take
can
pills
choose a
and just
date.
die.
Yeah,
'Cause she had,
Interesting.
but
I didn't
there's like
know
a
that.
vetting process. Like you have to have like a terminal
Illness.
illness.
Interesting.
So the whole thing was, is she was like wanted all this attention because she was doing it. She was trying to like bring like attention to the cause of, hey, every state should allow this. 'Cause
And I
she
agree.
She had to move to Oregon to like
To do it, yeah.
So she's like, hey, every state should let you like. But I mean, I don't know. Like sometimes like, but the problem is if those pills are available and I'm like at my mom's house and my phone's about to die and I might be trapped in like one of her conversation prisons.
You might
I
just
be
slip
reaching
yourself.
for the meds. So like you just got to make sure.
in Australia it's legal to an extent. You just can't sell it as this thing, but it's a brewing can. I think it's nitrous oxide or something that you put in. Like they sell it as making beer, your own beer. It's a little canister, but they give you a bag and a hose, and you just put the bag over your head and the hose, and you just go to bed and you're done. You're la la land and straight into a DMT trip for 35 years or whatever it is.
That's the way I gotta go.
Yeah.
But it's see, that's the way to go, and that's what I'm trying to say is like if and everyone at least knows someone or seen someone who has just been completely unhealthy, is sick, ready to fucking die. They're in cancer, and their life's horrible. They don't know their wife, or they have dementia or Alzheimer's, and things are lost, and they don't know who they are. They don't know what's going on. I mean, if we see a dog and a dog gets hurt or a horse breaks its leg, you put them down because it's their humane way to go and to do. But here we're like, no, gotta suffer that shit. Sorry, you served in Vietnam and World War II or whatever. That's impossible, by the way.
I don't
But
support the troops, so I don't really get that reference.
yeah, right.
I just like thought it would be funny if like somebody like burst into her like shitty house and was just like it's like a doctor and he was like holding an X-ray and like just like the toner was low on the printer like all along. Like, you're fine. Don't.
Oh shit! Shred it. Yeah,
Like slowly starts
Oh.
ripping it up.
In Europe, it's legal too, Christian Martinez says. But yeah, I think it's just an interesting thing that you should be able to choose when you want to go if you want to go. It's your thing. I mean, as long as you're, and I don't know. There's a cool little YouTube video I saw. It was a short film. It's like no less than 3 minutes, and it was this film where this kid. Well, it's a grandma and a grandpa sitting on the couch. And they put in this DVD. It just says "Play Me." So he puts in this DVD, and the grandpa has Alzheimer's and stuff, and doesn't know his wife. And so the wife puts it in because she knew that he wanted it. Anyways, plays it. It's the younger self of the grandpa watching it, and it just pretty much says, "Hey, if you're watching this, here are some steps, and this is what I need you to do. If you don't know your name or the wife sitting to the left of you, then do this step." Anyways, it does all this thing, and it just pretty much says, okay, now talking to the grandma or whoever's next to him, pretty much just saying, the guy had Alzheimer's, nothing to live for, whatever, told the grandma to close her eye or cover her ears and stuff and look the other way, and then the TV says to the grandpa, okay, put the gun in your mouth and fucking pull the trigger. And so he does it. And it's shot well, it's made well, and it makes you sit there and was like, it was interesting, but it was his younger self who he knew he was, and he was giving himself advice if this ever came into play, and it did. And
have you ever thought about that yourself?
Yeah, sure. Well, and here's the thing: I say that now, and I have a kid on the way. The second another life comes into my thing, and I start caring, or I have to be the dad or that other sport, now my thinking will be different. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I think that now, if that life gets shitty, I'm not saying I'm going to blow my brains out or do anything, but if I get really sick and I have cancer and my medical bills are going to be millions or hundreds of thousands, it's going to put my family in negative debt. It's going to hurt my wife. Now my kids, it's hurting all of us, and the house and the car and everything's getting taken away. I lost my job because I have cancer. I can't go to work. At some point, I think, yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say is medical care should be 100% covered for every human being to never even get entered into that thought of, well, we're 350,000. I have to claim bankruptcy, and I have this great job, but now because my credit score is so shit, and I'm fucked, and now your life's fucked, and now boom. It shouldn't be that way. If you break an arm, if you get sick, if you get cancer, you should get the same treatment as if you're paying or not paying, and doctors should get paid great, fucking great. Make it, even give them a raise. If every doctor got $1 million fucking dollars per year, no one's throwing fits, no one's trying to get more clients, just do the same work you keep doing. You're getting paid greedily, and you deserve it. If everyone was on the same page and the government were to do that and pay them all that, it would be much cheaper, I guarantee it, for even the doctors to run it. Plus, the government can give them all the newest, high equipment compared to the doctors have to buy it, and now they have to cover for this and, get paid. And that's how they do it in Europe. Those doctors get way, way above what normal doctors make. And in Europe, if my wife were to have her kid, she gets 9, not just 6 weeks here, fucking 9 months, all paid, and sometimes I think in France or something, it's a year. Plus, you get an in-home nanny who comes daily, who is her job, hence giving the government and making more jobs. It's her job. She comes in, she helps nurse the baby, burp the baby, clean, feed, put rest on you so you can heal, you can get good. You're also getting paid for it. And they'll help do laundry or clean the house or whatever, and that's the way it should go. We're creating more jobs, are getting paid through the government, and also you're letting yourself have relaxation, and you're really being a mom to a child to make another piece of French or Italian or whatever it is society who wants to be a good member. And if you're happy people are going to be they're going to do cool things, and that's where a lot of people are struggling here. Is they're in such dire needs that we still are making cool things like Mac. Mac came because a guy wanted to fucking start his own business, wanted to do his thing, but it's because of dire needs. When a lot of these like entrepreneurs or ideas or businesses get started, is because they have nowhere else to fucking go. And that's great, do it. But if we had happy people and children were happy and families were happy and they're not sitting there grinding out of their fucking mind. Like, look at Asia. If you look at Asia and China and Japan right now, those guys are working 13 or 15-hour days. Most of them are on complete, like, they sleep at work. Their kids are going to school, I think it's 7 or 6 days a week. But like extreme long hours. And anyways, they're setting them up to work society. Meaning, you're going to school this many days, then you're also staying, it's not like the normal hours. Like, they stay ridiculous hours, and then they go, just get them ready for the workforce, pretty much. But like, people are committing suicide left and right in Japan. I mean, and also they're not making babies. The men are not making kids because they would rather have a digital girlfriend. They have these things, digital girlfriends, or those fuck toy machines or whatever. They would rather do that than actually have it. Plus, there's a higher rate. Is it more men than the women? I think. I don't remember. There's a good documentary on it. Of course, I can't remember it. It's like, I think it's called Japan's Sex Industry. And it's really interesting, but it just goes into...
How'd you stumble across that documentary?
Just topdocumentaries.com. It was one of them.
Late night on...
I promise.
It's a little bit of a typo.
I promise. Yeah. That's a good website, topdocumentaries.com. It has all the new ones all free, and you can just watch them all day. How about we get some fucking comedy in this shit? I'm done talking so serious. That's why we have Kelly here, Jeff, and you're over there reading Hags. What the fuck are we going to do?
Something funny.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know, man. Whatever you guys.
Jeff McLeod doesn't know what to say. The funniest.
I know it can get him started, like on a rant, if that's what you want.
Okay, go. KSL.
How high I blast the heater right on my feet when we're in the car.
And it's 2014 and we're still dealing with, there's never a comfortable temperature setting in a car. Always either too hot or too cold. There's never a right one.
It's so true.
It's just one of the modern technologies that we just haven't quite figured out yet.
Yeah. Or which one's better for your gas mileage? That's what, like, you know how there's the in-car button? It's like, it shows the circle or whatever in the car. But yet, if you're driving in the cold and it just starts fogging up your window, you're like, fuck, no, I have to have the outside cold. And, like, it doesn't make any sense. But then it's good for your gas mileage, but the AC on then drains your gas mileage. And it's like, what the fuck?
And why are we still, like, living in a scenario where I can go in fucking August, I gotta get in my car and my seat buckle, like, fucking brands me like I'm cattle because it's so fucking hot. Why can't the cars fucking have an internal thermostat?
And why don't they
just
come
like
tinted?
A fucking house.
Yeah.
And when it gets to fucking 1,000 degrees and you can fucking cook bacon on your dashboard, the AC just comes on for 5 minutes and cools the fucking car down.
Yeah.
While it's in the parking lot at Costco. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me madder than getting fucking burned in my car or it being so fucking cold in your car that the whole time I drive to work, my teeth are chattering. By the time I get to work, it finally spits out out its first fucking body temperature fucking molecule of hot air out of the fucking heater vent. Like,
it's so
holy
true.
shit, I can't. I don't understand why we need to be able to like do so many things like with technology, and then the stuff that like would really benefit my life on a daily basis. We're just like, no, man, like you should definitely have the sweatiest fucking back in America anytime you get somewhere in July. That's just how your life should be.
I hate that. Like, to the point that I changed boxers because of that. Like, to get, like, the intercool or something.
In the middle of summer, well, like, fucking pretty much from May to October 1st, I go to the bathroom, like, 3 or 4 times a day just to wipe the sweat out of my ass crack. And no other reason. Oh, Jeff, man, he's got a quick metabolism. No, I'm fat as fuck and my asshole's sweating. What the fuck? I can't stand even being slight. I get so upset about so many things and it raises my body temperature. You'd think I'd try to control that because I do not like being even kind of warm.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it when I get hot. And I want to blame it on everything. Like, I'll just be sitting here, and I'm kind of getting hot right now, and I'll just be like, how many fucking watts is this light bulb? Like, how much fucking amps is coming out of that Mac? Jesus Christ. Why are you fucking breathing so hard, bro? Fuck.
Do you ever get that when you're in the car and the windows start fogging up seriously because you're either singing to your songs or something? You're like, oh, fuck, this is awkward.
Like, for some reason, my entire life I've spent with my window being the only one that fogs up.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there in the back seat. I notice I'm the only one with the steam belt fucking window, and there's always like one Uncle Doug in the car. And no matter fucking what, oh man, what are you though? You breathing too much over there? I think I'm fucking breathing the right amount. Okay, keep your fucking trap shut before I tell everyone about the time you molested me. Fuck off. You like try to casually just like with your like sweatshirt sleeve and just this big like it's just even more obvious.
Yeah,
that's fucking fucking the hot being
That's
hot in the
about
car
right.
does kind of get me fired
One
up.
little comment, and that was about 10 minutes, I think.
Good, keep it going.
Nothing
What
makes
other
me more
things?
angry.
So tell me about you guys growing up. What?
Well, my uncle
what kind
Doug
of shit?
molested the shit out of us.
I really hope he did. It would just make this.
Sorry, he was very specific about never kissing and telling. So I'm sorry, Uncle Doug. I just told everybody.
What a fucked up situation when people are like, that's a real, like, that happens to you. Do you, like, I was watching this part on Bullshit, and they were talking about, like, stranger danger, and is it just that you can fucking, like, just worry your kid to fucking death? Or is it just that you are not doing enough to protect him and not letting him worry, but it's just like, are you letting him go on the subway at 6 years old by himself? Or are you...
I always say a good rule of thumb is just like a hint of racism is going to get you out of a lot of situations.
Can I talk? Okay, this really happened 4 days ago at Maverick. This is no joke. We pull up to Maverick. Mikkel wants a drink. So I'm like, okay, stay in the car. I'll go get a drink. As I'm pulling up, an African-American male who had a bandana on and an orange construction t-shirt.
Stereotypical?
Well, I couldn't write this shit. Orange construction t-shirt, whatever, and I look over at him and he looks at me for like 2 seconds. And then, so I close the door, I start going inside, and right as I entered the door, I'm like, okay, you know what? That was pretty racist of me. Like, just that thought. I was just like...
No, it sounds like it was just the right amount of racism.
Well, so get this. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, no, that's pretty dickish. I mean, like, is it that in America, our society has just shot us and told us all these things, that African Americans scary, the news, the media and everything, is it that? And so I was thinking, I'm like, relax. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter that he's African American. He could just be just as scary as a white guy or whatever. So anyways, I'm drinking, I'm getting my drink, I walk outside and get in the car, and that guy's gone. And then I look at Mikkel, she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, what? And she's like, that black guy just smacked your fucking car with his car door, and then looked at me, and then closed it and left. And I was like, just after I gave this guy the benefit of the doubt, I'm like, this guy's cool. It doesn't matter. I'm being racist. I need to knock this shit off. Whatever. He fucking dings my car on purpose, stares at my wife like, you gonna fucking do anything? Huh? You gonna do anything? And then drives off. And I was like, holy shit. And I'm like, am I being racist?
Surprised.
And now I was like, boom, I'm right back at it.
It doesn't sound like a guy that would treat every situation in his life like that. Just bang into something and then just leave it, not ever meet his son. I don't know.
Work
Doesn't
construction.
sound like a black person.
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, okay, I'll believe your story. This one time, I'll believe your story. But it doesn't. I'm just saying.
And I gave him the benefit of the doubt. And as soon as I got in there, I'm like, because now I have to restart. I'm like, fuck. And it's not like I view every one of them. I mean, there's the ones that's like, okay. But there's ones that you're like, it's iffy mode, and I'm like, he's probably just dressed that way. It doesn't matter. After he did that shit, I was like, I fucked up. Like, I shouldn't have let my guard down. You know, it's that whole thing, and so it
Knew I
teaches
should
you.
be racist.
Oh, I knew I wasn't racist enough.
Miguel, did that guy hit the fucking car? I was just talking about at Maverick. The guy who hit the car. Come here.
Yes.
What did he do?
How hard
Oh
did he
my gosh,
hit your
it
car?
scared me so bad. So I was sitting there on my phone, and he walks out of Maverick and comes to his car, opens his car, and like hits Christian's car, and just looks at me like, "What the fuck are you gonna do?" Like, I'm just like look straight forward. I'm like, I'm not gonna do or say or
See,
give a look.
now,
was
see,
bad.
here's the thing.
It was just.
Here's the thing. She
One of the
just
only
like
ones
covered her
Scared
face,
me,
whispered
though.
at him.
He like looked at me like he was gonna like.
Right, and here's the
fuck me up
difference.
If I looked at him like, what the fuck
Christian didn't use enough racism,
Yeah.
and Mikkel used the right amount.
Yeah.
Okay, so she just eyes forward, fucking hit it again. Whatever you want to do, man.
So the first thing I say is, "Did you get his license plate number?" And Miguel's like, "No, I didn't look. I just looked down."
like it would help off his stolen
Yeah, exactly.
fucking car.
That's true, yeah. But it was.
So what would you have done if you walked out? And
Did
saw
you
it?
notice if he paid with card or
Well, then I
cash?
got out and I looked, and
Oh,
I
right.
don't know.
Fucking
Is there any damage
Sherlock
to your car?
Holmes.
No, there was
Let's-
like that was the
Like,
first thing
why
I
didn't
looked.
he say anything? I'm like, did you see him? He scared me.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
blind.
here I am pregnant.
And all it was because maybe I had a nicer car and we made eye contact for 4 seconds before I walked. Or he's black. You know, I don't know. But again, it was just this weird situation. And I was like, fuck. I let my guard down.
This is one of those stories where had you left race entirely out of it, I would have just been in my back of my head the whole time you're telling me. I'd have been like, that black motherfucker. I can't believe he did that to your car.
I know. I couldn't believe it. But it's like, you know, how often does that ever happen to a white? And if it does, it's like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Or they, if they did it on purpose and it's the biker type. And
Oh,
you just,
God.
It was definitely on purpose.
you
just
pray-
to see my reaction. and
You
see if I would
pray
say or
for
do
the
anything.
fucking day like an old like Korean gentleman like door dings your car and then becomes like your indentured servant because he's just so embarrassed. He's disgraced his family now. He's gonna make your life as best as he can and then kill himself because he's so
Samurai.
shamed that he dinged your car. And then these
I
black
pray.
people, fuck you, man, fuck slavery, fuck you, bro. Okay, it wasn't me, like specifically. Like I actually come from a super fucking poor family. Like
it's true.
Funny. That's so true.
And it's sad that, you know, people say race is, you know, it's all dead, and you know, it's and the thing is, it's
alive and well, right?
The
here.
stereotypical.
Right, this guy's hard.
Well, it was kind of like he was being racist towards me in a way for doing that to me, just to kind of
it's
see
like
if I would
reverse
do
racism.
anything.
Like this white bitch ain't gonna do nothing.
She isn't, and now he's probably on his friend's podcast. Yo, check this out, white boys playing Civic.
Hold on. He's on his friend's mixtape right now.
DJ AM. Or what? Yeah, that would be. I guarantee it would happen. You guys seen any good movies lately besides Fury?
We for sure didn't see a good movie yesterday.
We saw a movie
But did you
yesterday.
see
John
Was,
Wick? This
Ben fucking Clough said, "Oh, it's better than Fury. It's the best fucking movie I've seen all year." John Wick, right? Keanu Reeves or whatever.
Keanu Reeves, like at this point, I think he's just like
Should just be
trolling
done.
America.
Yeah.
Like he can.
It was bad.
He's not. I mean, it's not bad if you're smart enough like we are to like put it in perspective. Like it's just
Sure,
a stupid
realistic.
action movie where a bunch of people are going to get shot.
Of course.
That's what we were going to see, so that's what we got. So in that aspect, it was good. But in Keanu Reeves like acting, it's just. Like I'm not an actor. Maybe it's just because I'm not like I don't have an educated palate. Like I fucking eat like 3,300 calories of McDonald's every day. So if you give me like some like fucking something with like bay leaves on it and like rosemary and they're like taste like how it just fucking explodes in your mouth and I don't get it.
It does.
Maybe I just don't
People
get
just talk
what
it
he's
up.
doing. Maybe I just don't get that he's a really good actor.
No, that's definitely not. it.
What are some of the worst movies you've ever seen?
All of them are Keanu Reeves movies.
Point Break.
Did you like The Matrix?
I actually love The Matrix. torture.
But
it's because he was.
point
But
blank.
it's because he was supposed to kind of act like a robot. In that
I was gonna say that
and
one.
that's
was,
about how he acts.
That's true.
Like he's just like.
But he always
emotion,
it's like he's stoned. It's like Bill and Ted never grew up.
Yeah, it's just funny.
Nicolas Cage.
I heard The Jury was good.
Which one?
The Jury? My sister saw it.
I hear that's really good too. It's got Robert Downey Jr. in it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that one. A good website for anyone who's listening and has an Android phone or computer.
xnxx.com.
What is it called?
xnxx.com.
Is that a real website?
Thousands of free porn uploads daily. Is that not what we're doing here?
That was What is that a real website?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
They just they got it all.
What was I? Oh, time for popcorn.
They even have that Japanese
Great
stuff
thing.
you were
Check it
talking
out.
about.
The Japanese stuff. Which one's the snuff films? You ever watch a fucking snuff film?
No, I have like pretty sensitive
rules.
and like fragile boners. Like I can't see something like bad happen while I have a boner. It goes away.
Oh no, I'm not talking like for porn ejaculation reasons. Just have you ever seen a snuff film?
Well, why would you watch one if it wasn't for porn or ejaculation reasons?
Snuff film is pretty much you're pushing the limit. You don't. It's to the point like you don't know if it was real or it was fake. Like, but like murder wise.
Like that one we were watching at Haunted Forest.
Which one was that? Yes. Oh my! Did you ever finish that? What the fuck? What in the? Oh my god! Let's just see. I'll give you an example of a snuff film. So they're murder torture videos, but to the point like apparently the person on the other side, it's all like part of a movie, but you never know. There's an hour-long ISIS snuff film apparently. I don't know. There's some fucked up.
Too much.
Yeah. No, for sure. And
Me
that shit
too,
never leaves your
surprisingly.
brain. Fucking never leaves your brain.
I love those. I love watching beheadings.
Are you, for
Dude,
real?
it's fucking
I can't
weird.
get that
I
out.
love it.
I can't. It's
That
a weird
shit
part of
excites
me.
the shit out of me. I'll be on Reddit. If I
Which
see
one?
one at like 11 o'clock, I'll be up till 4 in the morning just watching that shit.
Just going.
Actually, like the funniest joke someone told me recently was like, "Oh man, I was like, it was so hard to like watch one of those ISIS beheading videos." And then I was like, "Oh yeah, like where they like behead like the American?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's like because I was like jacking off so hard that I kept dropping my phone." Like, it's like it made me laugh. Oh man, it made me laugh.
Those videos never leave my brain. I can watch it like so I'm interested. There's a part of you that's like, okay, I'm interested. And then once you get it in there, you're like the chainsaw, two Mexican.
one. Oh.
What in the fuck? That's a bad one. You seen that one?
I want to show it to you.
The two drug cartel. They take guys that ratted them out or something, and they
chainsaw.
start chainsawing the one guy, and the other sitting next to him on the ground, and like it cuts his arm. He
wait,
doesn't even
maybe I've
fucking like
seen
look
that.
at it. It's horrible. It's creepy.
I've
The
seen-
worst are the knives where they start hacking, and you hear the
Steam coming out.
oh fucking a. Those sounds you never get out.
I
You
know.
never get
Here's
out.
my thing with like ISIS or even just like being kidnapped or anything like that. Like you've got one chance to get away from that. You've got one chance, and it's not when
might
you're.
as well
It's
try.
not when you're like on your hands and knees, like reading a script, getting your head like chopped off. It's when they go to grab you initially. Like you better freak the fuck out. Like I would rather die there, like
Freaking
by
out.
getting shot, freaking out, like fucking digging an eyeball out, like fucking freaking out, than I would just being like, Obama, you did like this is all your fault, like because you know you're about to get beheaded. So I just have to warn every American: you have one chance to get away, and it's not like SEAL Team 6 isn't like busting into like that fucking camel's hump you're like hiding in and like gonna fucking save your life. It's like when they go to get you, like at all costs, like at all costs.
Yeah.
Did you hear about those girls that like tried to fly over and be a part of ISIS?
Yeah, then they want it back, right? Then they want to like come back after that.
No.
What is this?
The government flew them back. They got turned around.
Wait,
Like,
what
fly
happened?
to Turkey or something.
Yeah, Colorado girls tried to.
Like
They-
white girls?
Yeah, they ditched school and they went to
Are
Germany.
you fucking serious?
We should behead them here.
I know.
Yeah.
Here, that's just that's just government spending gone wrong. let them go.
Yeah.
Those flights are like, what, $1,700-$1,800 a piece, and we just paid to bring them back?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Well, and the whole reason behind that Canada thing is, I guess, that they that guy had wanted to leave and join ISIS, so Canada took away his passport, he couldn't leave or whatever, and then he acted out. It's like, let him go.
Yeah, let him the hell away from us.
Not even get him the hell away from us. If a guy says,
you kill
fuck
him.
you, I want to be in ISIS.
Kill him.
You're dead.
Yeah.
You're dead now.
Because you're going to kill someone else, and you're saying that, and yeah, you fucking end their life.
We're long overdue for some beheadings of our own. Like, we want to start sending a message.
Who, you and me?
No, just America.
Oh no, for sure. We're horrible from an outside point of view. I mean, again, with the whole Iraq war, if you're there in fucking Iraq and you're your family and you're doing your own thing, and all of a sudden here comes these soldiers. We're here to save you from. It's like the same way if Russians came over here and they said, we're here to save you from Obama, and everyone's going to fucking start shooting them too, because here you're breaking into houses, you're taking dad because he's not speaking English clear enough or whatever, and he apparently looks like a terrorist. And I'm not saying in every situation that's the plan. And here's a crazy one. I'm on Bill Maher the other day. No, it was on late night something, whatever. There's these guys that were translators for America. They were from Iraq or Afghanistan, and they worked with the United States Army. And if they worked with them, they got paid, but they also were given the right to get out when they leave. And so then the army started backing out. They're like, whoa, like, hey, they're going to fucking kill us if we stay here. They know we worked with you. I mean, we saw half the guys. And everyone knows in town, and the Taliban knows that I was translating and on your side. And, well, you'll be good. Like, they started leaving tons of these translators, and they started killing their families and people. And the process for them to get here, which was written in their contracts, is like a fucking joke. You have to turn this paper in, wait 6 months. That paper has to get turned in, upgrade, and then you're considered for the green card to come over. And anyways, they ratted it out, and it was pretty bad. And so they had one of the translators finally came over and told the whole story. It was a fucking nightmare to get over here, but it was interesting. I want to talk. I've got this lady who used to do she did our prenatal class. She works for this cool thing called. I forgot the name. It's one of those. It's a foundation that goes and takes sex slave children from they just barely went to Columbia. She's badass. She owns Saratoga Springs CrossFit. Her fucking arms are twice my size. She's huge, and she, anyways, gets in this thing, and they pretend that there's a bunch of people from Utah, I guess, and there's the actress, that chick from Walking Dead, the blonde chick. I don't know. She's somewhat pretty. I don't know. She's also a part of this thing. So there's a group of 12 of these people, and they pretend to go over for this bachelor party in Colombia. And so these guys, they're out. They're looking for 14, 13, or whatever. They're pretending that they're all these underagers. And anyways, they snag these guys who are selling these kids, and it's all on Nightline or whatever. But she was teaching her class, so I want to see if I can get her on the show.
She knows that every day, 1,300 foster kids in Utah are fucking brutally molested, right? And thanks for going to Columbia though, and helping some of those tender kids.
Well, and that's a crazy thing too. We're giving so much aid to these other countries and these things. I mean, even to Iraq, we're rebuilding it. And we're doing all this stuff, which is funny because the people in the government, the companies who are building and rebuilding Iraq, are fucking Dick Cheney's companies, the ones who went in. So he's making a fuck ton of money. But look at Detroit. Look at fucking half the cities here. Why aren't we fixing us first? And that's what I'm sick of. I'm sick of being the world's policeman. Why do we have to jump in? And I understand maybe no one else is going to. I get it. If shit's going down in Africa, no one else is going to. I get it.
I'm just
but
not
to some extent,
your
at what
friend
point
on her masculine back for doing that when she could just be helping kids around here.
No, and that's a great point.
Because there's a lot of it around here.
Of course, and that's what America needs to start focusing on fucking us.
A lot.
In my house alone.
I one time, just because I like to get super crazy with girls, I once told a girl that I was going to pound her like a foster kid's ass.
Nothing turns a child on more than that. Yeah.
I miss you.
Text me.
Sorry it didn't work out.
Did you do it?
No.
How would she know? She's like, no, you know what? That was an adopted kid's. That was. What's the ranking scale between an adoption kid's asshole?
Well, adoption kids are usually pretty loved. I got to imagine, did it go
a redheaded
from a foster
stepchild?
kid,
What about that?
A foster kid to an adoption? Because you got to only believe those kids must be way good in the sack. If like the parents are like, the dad's like, let's adopt that one. Like I want him around forever.
How do you choose? How do you choose? And does that even happen anymore? Like that whole and what Annie? Why would you want the redheaded? Like I don't get it. Like how do you choose when going to look at a kid? How do you fucking? Right how do you choose?
I don't know. Well, she's looking.
Like how do you decide? I would just get it.
The one with 5 kids already.
She wants it's another one.
Oh, okay. So she wants to adopt. Well, how do you choose?
So you pick like So she's trying to find like a mother. So she just like finds a mom. So because she wants like a brand new baby, like right when it's born, she snags it.
So she's trying to find one that's already pregnant, or put her egg.
She's like doing this legally.
No, yeah, she's doing it legally. But I don't know. So she just like go. You pretty much like go on dates with the moms.
Yeah.
And you like go and you like take them out to lunch and you learn about their history and you learn who they fucked.
It's like it's always sunny.
I go on dates with single moms all the time.
Yeah.
You're way good at this.
Dude, we need to have sperm banks in Utah. Do you know how much money we could make? Well, I think they'd be overflooded. I think there would be too many people who would be in those sperm banks.
Floods of sperm. This was a terrible
I heard
image.
those are
Thank
pretty
you.
hard. You have to have like
So that's what
you
I'm
have
trying
to be like super good looking. You have to have a good like GPA. You have to.
I bet they do blood tests. Everything has to be perfect.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like pretty.
I guess my
rigid,
GPA would be fucked.
There was that guy in like that movie.
Delivering.
That really happened.
That happened here at the University of Utah. Like, there was the doctor and stuff. People were doing up at the University of Utah. They were going in, donating sperm. But I don't think they were getting paid or whatever. So the doctor would dump them out and give his sperm into them and stuff, and have like hundreds of children.
I'd be laughing so hard I wouldn't.
Let me find out.
Funniest thing ever. Just a bunch of like fucking kids that can't grow a beard and have huge fucking heads. Not mine.
Sperm switch. It's sperm bank switch. Okay, here's what it is.
Ooh, you're thinking of cum swapping.
Oh.
Those are the videos you're looking for.
So, 1K family. 1,000 fucking families who is throwing his sperm in his... Oh, my God. That's crazy. That's a criminal. Maybe.
That's a
Unless
genius.
he was... Well, if he was a professor, if he was a doctor, he might...
He's like the Genghis Khan of like fucking...
How hard would that be, though? Like, when you finally get your kid out and you realize that your kid was not what you expected, and who, like, do you look at your kid weird now? Like, you're like, oh, yeah, fucking mine. Like,
he doesn't really look like us.
How would that work? Just getting text messages. They're ignoring us now.
How would that work?
Well, I'm just saying, like, how would you view your child at that point?
Most parents are just pretending to love their kids anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, you did ruin their life.
Yeah.
So.
Fucking.
That's what we were just talking about. How does I mean, you'd be a good one to answer this. How do you just decide fuck, doing whatever I want all the time? Fuck that. Like I just want to be like a prisoner.
Because your life becomes a routine. Mine's a routine right now. It's just kind of. I feel like it's the same old same. And this was, and that's the thing is with a kid. It's not necessarily always going to be the same, right? You have the baby mode. Baby mode's going to cry. It's going to do its shit. It's going to whatever. Then you get the toddler where it starts breaking shit and walking and figuring things out and cussing and making funny videos.
Both 2 strikes against
kids. Yeah, but then they get better when maybe one day they make millions. That's only
hope that you won the lottery.
Of course.
That one day they'll wipe your butt.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Do you think there's a lesser chance of winning that lottery or the actual lottery?
I think I'd rather just put all the money.
I bet they're equal. They're fucking equal.
The actual lottery and just kind of do whatever the fuck I want.
It's just been the routine, dude. I just think that it wasn't necessarily planned, but it wasn't avoided, I guess. And then when it came into play, I mean, like my first thought still, Mikkel shows me the pee stick, I say, what the fuck are we going to do? But then I stopped and I realized, okay, we are married. We're okay. At least we have a house to sit. It wasn't like the, oh shit. I don't know, man. There's so much shit going through my head right now. But at this point, I'm just excited because.
That'd be wild.
I don't know, man.
That's why I always pull it out and shoot it in the carpet.
And just straight in the car when you're home alone.
No matter what. Yeah, because I beat off the condom on just to be ready, because I can whip that thing off into the carpet like fast, man.
You ready to rock and roll?
Oh yeah.
In case that ant comes back.
I'm out.
You have contacts
and I'm a pro too. Like I keep all my shit around my ankles Because I did one too many like fucking snow angels in some chick's bed looking for my fucking socks. So I keep everything just right there.
You have the rag.
I'm always
You're ready to roll.
Yeah, so.
That's funny.
Yeah. And then you're just one about whatever your name was.
Well, here's a crazy thing too. I think, and again, you can't get into the play of the government's in charge of this or anything. But like, let's talk about guns for a sec. Why is it easier to get a gun compared to? Yeah, right. Guns. Why is it fucking easier to get a gun than it is to do a driver's license? Like, why do you have to go take all these tests? Yeah,
it is.
All you have to do is have your license and it checks the
10
background.
minutes to buy my gun.
You're good to go. Whereas then you have to do the DMV and the test drive.
Even for a 16-year-old?
Well, no, you have to. I mean, you have to be of the age of 18 or whatever. But like, if someone is 18, they want a gun. There's no mental health background. They just do a quick background check, see if you have a felony or or whatever charges that will say no, and other things. But really, it's just all right, green light, you're good. Whereas in driver, you have to take the test, right? Then you have to do an update. Then you have to pay the fees. Then you have to also go out and do the driver's road test. Then you have to register every fucking year. And it's weird.
I'm actually fine with that statistically because of all the people that want to like actively go out and buy a gun. They're probably statistically they're okay. I'm okay with them buying some gun and some bullets. I kind of want like a 16-year-old like dumb like bitch. Like who just gave her boyfriend his like first blowjob, like to maybe prove she can like handle a 1,500-pound bullet.
That's a good point.
Before she just gets one.
That's a good point. I just think it should be harder to get a gun too, though, because here's an 18-year-old kid, the samurai sword, right? Okay, well, imagine if that was a gun and he just had the money for the gun. It's a different situation. Or he's short on money. He goes to Chevron, robs a place, someone gets shot, he gets shot, people get shot, kids get shot. Whatever. I don't know. Fucking Nightcrawler. Go see that movie. That's a great movie. It just brought to my mind because of cops and guns in an Asian market. That's all. Watch it. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal. It's good. Jeff, you seem so fucking out of it tonight. I'm very disappointed.
I'm so in it though.
What are you thinking about?
Engaging.
Guns. So, anyways, that's my rant. I just think it should be harder to get a gun. Then it should be even. It should be just as hard to get a license as a gun.
I think I've actually bought a gun. Honestly,
what the fuck does that even mean? You don't know where your gun is, or you what?
No, it was a gift. I just bought it and gave it to somebody.
That's a felony. I don't know. I don't know.
The law? No. I told him at the store. I was like, "This is a gift. I'm buying it for my friend." He's like, "Oh, right."
How does that work?
Punched a background check.
Do you have to register?
Well, because you don't have to
register. You write the.
Hold.
No.
I know, fuck. God, would you shut up for 1 minute tonight?
I know he said that's his first word for the entire podcast.
Shut the fuck.
Well, how can you? But why couldn't you just go buy a gun off KSL?
I don't think you can do that anymore.
Oh,
pretty sure they shut that off.
KSL.
Yeah.
But there is the. Can I talk?
Yeah.
Okay. There is
but what about?
There is Utah Gun Exchange. They made that off of KSL or whatever. So
what is it? Just
that's the Utah KSL.
Do you change it out, or you just?
It's the Utah KSL for guns.
So I could, but if I got caught, I'd be so fucked.
Yeah.
I can't even be in the house. I can't even be somewhere with a gun.
And that's so dumb.
Yeah,
I know, so.
Did you shoot up a high school?
I was just wondering how far I need to move my chair away from you right now.
No, it's stupid.
It was domestic violence, right? But that's the thing about the judicial. It needs to be different degrees because there's judgment, different parts. It's all right, okay, you fucked up, you had a little tough, then okay, a year of this, whatever, and then you're done. And if it's ever on your right, it's oh no. Whereas if you're molesting children, I think you're allowed to own a gun still, or something crazy, it's something weird like that. And it just doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying. Is we need a whole fucking revamp of this shit. I've never cared too much about guns. I think cool if you like them or whatever. I don't trust myself necessarily with a gun because if it comes to that situation, or I'm in the car and that guy dings my gun. The fuck did you? Yeah, you want to stare at me? I don't trust myself because, again, when it comes home and I come home and if something happened, I don't even want to be able to resort to that. If we're doing fist or a baseball bat, have at it. Great. Okay. But, I just don't. I don't know. I just know what humans are capable of. I know what we can all be capable of if I get to that breaking point. And I just don't know if I love shooting guns. I love going out to a shooting range. Fuck, I'll do it all day. But I just don't want it in my car or on me. Now, some people can totally handle it and they're clear-minded and they're great. That's great. I just know myself, and I just, for right now, it's not for me. But again, it's a scary situation because say I'm in a place where I really need a weapon or something's going on, or there's a crazy documentary. Again, it didn't happen here, but it's about that. I don't know if anyone heard about like in Africa and stuff, and those 6 terrorists walked into the whole fucking mall, or even here. I mean, the Charlie Square. Just any of that shit. Like, you never know when you're going to need it, and it could have saved your life or your family's or your wife or your child or who knows what. But I guess I'll take the bullet. I don't know. It's a weird thought, but I'll take that risk compared to, again, accidentally or in the wrong place at the wrong time doing it or even flashing it. You're fucked. And now I'm in prison. And now I can't see my kid and my family. And that's what it's saying. Like, it's a weird place to be at. I just wish people were less violent.
Yeah.
And like in Canada, people just fight it out. Like, you gotta fight.
Yeah,
okay, we're fucking fight.
I can own a gun. I'm not like that worried about it. It just pisses me off that I can't.
Well, sure. It's
like
mom saying you can't, and all what you want to do is, well, you do. You can't drink till you're 20. Well, fuck you.
Yeah.
You just do what you gotta do. And that's why I'm saying, like, the government and a lot of things need to revamp. And bring that up. Vote tomorrow. It's as midterm elections. You have a choice. If you're in states, Washington, D.C. is voting on legalizing marijuana for that District of Columbia itself, which would be a huge thing. If it finally passes, then more people would start being on board. So if you're in Washington, D.C. and you're listening, fucking vote yes. Oregon's voting tomorrow on marijuana, and California's voting on decriminalizing marijuana. There's a few others or something like that. And again, marijuana's a fucking plant. I'm not saying get behind the wheel and fucking be potted out on cookies. I'm saying it's a lot better than a lot of medications. It's better than fucking being on Ambien and driving. It's better than whatever. Don't drive. If you're doing it, you're at home just like you are drinking. If you're having a beer, watch TV. If you're having a cookie, watch TV. Great, whatever. But it's a fucking plant. And it's killing less people than liquor. Flat out. Or meds. Or anything. It's never killed anyone. So
it was crazy. I was in Denver for a football game like 2 weeks ago.
Were people smoking?
Yeah, like in the smoking section,
that's cool.
It's like 90% weed.
Really? That's cool.
Wow. It's obviously legal, so it's just like...
Sure.
But you still have to smoke in the smoking section. So you got up to the top of the ramp. They had like a smoking section like cornered off, and it said smoking area, and like everyone was
just like pulling out their pipes
or joint or whatever.
Oh wow!
It's just interesting to go. Like okay, like it's just there.
But you know what's funny? The criminalization.
No one's it's just like.
Does anyone know if it's helping?
Yeah, no. The crimes have completely dropped. Like way lower.
The tax.
Oh, yeah. Millions that were going to, like, den lottery and stuff. Oh, we're going off on. Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I don't know what that was. I'll just switch this towards the fucking Wi-Fi thing. But anyways, pretty much...
That'll help.
Well, this is where it gets the Wi-Fi, and who knows if it's fucking being... I'd rather be safe than fucking sorry.
That's like the equivalent of someone like, I don't have any bars, and they
It's
just
the
kind of
truth.
like just raise their
Have you ever
phone
done that,
2
though?
feet
Sometimes-
higher.
I feel like it helps.
Sometimes at least in my head,
One
it
time
does.
I fucking climbed Mount Everest trying to send a text. I was just like, finally.
Did it go? No. Yeah, I don't think they cover Sprint or T-Mobile or whatever the hell you got.
I don't think T-Mobile.
What are you still
covers
running there? A
it.
5S?
This is it. Yeah,
it's okay.
Still running. Like
I
it's
know.
a fucking night. Like
I know, right?
fucking Walkman.
Fucking 5S.
You guys all have iPhones.
Yeah, we do.
Fucking cheap.
AT&T doesn't like cover North or South Spanish Fork, Utah. I don't think like they're gonna get you anything in Mount Everest.
Yeah, AT&T is kind of ridiculous.
I think they were good.
Just driving down Main Street.
Is that another funny thing though? It's the same with like Dish Network or DirecTV or Comcast or like Sprint, Verizon. Like if you have that, does it? I don't know. You ever had that friend that like has something, and they're just talking it up like, "Oh, Sprint, yeah, fucking this, that. It's the best. You gotta get on at the bar." Oh, and really, they fucking hate it, but they just want you to be miserable like them. So they're just trying. Comcast, oh, it's the shit. Come on, you'll love it that you get. And you get Comcast on demand, bro. Oh, then their bills are like fucking twice direct, whatever. And they just want you to be miserable.
And they wanted the $50.
Same with the cars. They don't ever want you to get a nicer car than them. Oh yeah, that Ford, that's good. He's driving the Lexus, but he's trying to talk you. I hate and they pretend like we don't see through it. It's like, shut the fuck up.
I got really upset one time on our podcast talking about AT&T. My phone would lose service at the address that they sent my bill to where I lived. I couldn't even use my phone there, and I just thought it was a little weird that you're gonna in your computer like type in an address and send me a bill to a place that like I can't even get fucking service. How do they even like rationalize that? And they're like, hey sir, yeah, we checked, and actually like 1024 like fucking whatever street, you're gonna get shit for service. So we're not actually gonna be able to sell you a cell phone. Like,
wait, they said that?
No, that's what they should have said, because I would have fucking walked 20 feet to the next kiosk and got a fucking Verizon phone.
Sure.
It was just kind of a funny like I was calling them to dispute a bill thing on my phone, and I lost service at the address they sent my bill to, and
that makes sense. That's hilarious. Yeah.
But my one time we were at the T-Mobile store, and my mom's phone wouldn't even work inside T-Mobile, and it was a T-Mobile phone at a T-Mobile store. But I don't even. I'm pretty sure T-Mobile phones are just like old sugar cookies with like buttons on them at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know who still has
T-Mobile.
Like, people that never want to pay
what trailer
zero
park do you
down.
live in? Nice T-Mobile phone.
What do you have? Hopefully not T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
I like how they didn't say anything as we were talking about shit, and they're sitting there agreeing. Well, they're right.
Because T-Mobile fucking sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
if I was over here saying like, oh, fucking Verizon can't get service anywhere, like 3 people would have been like, hey, now shut the fuck up. Verizon rules.
Hey, Verizon does rule.
But this guy knows how bad T-Mobile is, so he's just like, man.
At this point, I don't give a fuck. Do I call? Can I look at porn? Can I call Jeff? The end. Good night. Do I get Wi-Fi in my house? Fuck, great. iPod Touch? Can I use Google Talk? Okay, great. Cool. Yeah, I got away with that for a long time, dude. I didn't have a cell phone. I had one of those iPod Touch. And so anyone would ever text me, it'd be one of those, that, like, iTalk number fucking. And then, I would call them with my mic and my Wi-Fi and shit. I did that for like 2 years and no cell phone. I wish I would have. I mean, I don't know why I upgraded. I mean, did the same shit, man.
Did that. That's impressive.
It was the worst because, like, you ever needed a ride or you're, like, somewhere with no Wi-Fi. Like, fuck. I'm fucked. And it's the weirdest question to, like, ask someone, hey, can I borrow your cell phone? Because they look at you like you're a fucking homeless. Like, get the fuck away from me. It's like, what? No, just.
I'd like to go on record just say, no one, you can never, ever borrow my cell phone.
Yeah.
No. Never. Like, take my car, but I'll sit here with my phone without you touching it.
It's true. Nowadays, your phone is pretty much your wallet.
Well, now it is. My fucking Apple Pay, you bet. But, fucking, I don't know where else to go with this. We never had a single thing planned tonight, but I think we've kept it pretty going. Anything else you want to say, Jeff, before we fucking end this thing?
I'm good, man.
How do you feel about this new time change? It's been tripping me out. Every year it does. Trips me out. Like yesterday, I was fucking in bed. I didn't even look at my watch. You know, I'm in bed. I'm ready to rock and roll, go to sleep. My wife's like, what the fuck are you doing in bed? It's 6:30. I'm like, what? It's 6:30? So then I, of course, stayed in bed and watched movies till about 8:30 and then fell asleep. But it was like 6:30. I don't know if I like it. Why can't we just... it's 2014. Why don't we just keep it at 100%? Just this. It's always this time thing, and then everyone just realizes during this time it gets dark. Okay.
Right.
Like, I don't understand the big change.
I just hate telling, like, it takes my body a little time to, like, adjust. Because, so now, like, at my 9 o'clock meeting at work, I get my morning lit. So that's just kind of awkward for everyone.
Yeah.
But other than that...
You're sitting there saying, so our progress report is this dick. Well, it's showing that...
That's so funny. I didn't notice that, but my morning poop was,
a little off, right?
Oh my god, that makes so much
God,
more
now I'm
sense.
getting a boner right now just thinking about your poop.
You should be home masturbating. Or in your car. You ever done that one?
In my car? Yeah.
on your car or in your car?
Multiple times.
Oh, everywhere. I mean, I got a nice car all over that thing. I don't drive
5ICK5
down the road.
Yeah.
Have you?
No. That's a good one.
Down the road? I'm always too scared there would be a fucking Chevy or something.
The hardest thing is like...
Just
like
keeping straight
because
face.
like holding it and like I wanted the audio, so I had it like to the stereo. So like
your windows are cracked down. You pull it to a red light,
and you're just like you can. I mean, I couldn't get a full like combustion stroke like out of it. Like I had to do like a mid, but had to alter it to the mid. You guys are familiar with the mid stroke.
Joe Rogan talks about it. He's like, I've only jacked off in my car once or something. It was back when he was a limo driver and he like just had picked up this hot chick and he's like, but then he like dropped her off and he's like, I had to, and so he just jacked off. He's like, then I was disgusted with myself when I finally I was like, the fuck did I just jacked off my car? Like, this is what I've came to?
About 95% of the time after I jack off, that's the first thing I say to myself.
That's anyone's thought.
What the fuck did I do?
And then 5 minutes later, you're like, oh.
But I will say, like,
what is the reason behind it? Has your mom ever
say, like, back in the day, to the story about the guy that just like shot his wife or shot his husband, guy cheating with his wife? Like, you'll never make like a thoughtless decision if you just beat off right before you make that decision.
And that is true.
Like, I've long said, like, you should always beat off right before you go on and you're like a first date with a girl, or like, because then you're gonna make like a better decision making because you're not walking around with that.
So before you buy your car,
you better
you say, "Hey,
hold on,
you got
a phone call.
I gotta take a test drive."
Yes.
Yes. Easy in the car. Just, can you get in the back? You know, the air conditioning's right. Everything's
not
good.
Gonna like what you're about to see.
Can I get
the guy's just like, is that the mid-stroke?
Yeah. Go mid-stroke, bro. Get the pants all the way off. Go fully. Go fully to it.
This is a caddy. Stretch out.
Stretch out.
A tissue?
You want me to hold your hair? Yeah, okay, man. Whatever.
Those people are always funny. Those fucking car salesmen. You're off Florida, man. You brake. Now brake. When I say brake. You gotta brake it, man. Okay. How did it feel? Yeah. I felt like it fucking stopped the car.
Yeah, my favorite is like a car. Do I look like a fucking full blown like mechanical engineer? I'm not gonna be able to tell how good a car is by a fucking test drives are like the silliest thing.
And
it's awkward
because they're sitting right there too.
Other than just like a comfort level, like maybe reach some of the knobs, like beat off. Like or just whatever, like recline, like seat, mirror, like other than just like general comforts.
Yeah,
there's nothing like you're going to be like in your head. You're gonna be like, well, like I just feel like piston number 6 ain't firing right. Like no one's ever said that in a fucking test drive. Like so, I always get a kick out of like when people like think they're going on like a super thorough like I better kick the tires a little bit, run that down the road, and they've got like their like routine. They're like, I like to get it up to 65 and bring it down to 30 and just take the pedal and hit the brake, tap on a few times. Like, no. Just, does it have enough fucking cup holders?
Yep.
Does it have, like...
The stereo is a selling point for me. How does it sound?
That's
but then you're awkward because they're saying there, like, you want to turn it up loud. And it's like, yeah, seems crisp. Seems good. Okay. But it's so awkward.
Yeah, the guy I...
Best are used cars because then they don't give a fuck. Like, take it, turn it up, and you go, and you can test drive it. With the new ones, they always are like.
I test drove a used car, and he came with me. Guy was every bit of 73 years old and smelled like 9,000 cigarette butts, and it just like messed. Like the whole.
He's talking through his mic.
Like the whole.
You like it?
Yeah. The whole like test drive was just like ruined like by like his just like I feel like he had shingles on his knuckles and I was like, is it getting on me? Like is your like I feel I just kept thinking at any minute I'd like look down and his finger would be in my mouth and I'd just be like I just couldn't concentrate. So I mean I don't even know how the car really drove. And he kept going like, man, you see like with that wide wheelbase, like it really is like it's just like a sound car, and I'm just like, I was like, okay, and he's like, yeah, they put extra lining in here to keep it, keep the outside noises out.
Thanks, bro.
Right.
Also, let me get that crumb for you.
I wish they would have done something to keep you out of it.
Yeah.
Sweet fucking Old Navy tech vest. Like, how do you even still have one of those?
Tech vest. He's wearing old. Oh my god. There are people that still. They just need updates. You ever walk into houses or places that have just never been updated? Like, where were we? We were somewhere. Oh, the doctor's office. Yeah, I was at a doctor's office today, dude. It hadn't been updated since fucking 1990. Yeah, but it was like, and it's weird. Fucking Nickelodeon. Did you ever like Nickelodeon growing up? Nickelodeon Guts. Fucking Aggro Crag.
I like watching all
Stick
that.
Stick. What was that? Oh, is that the little fucking
popsicle stick?
Oh, I know. What was the Salute Your Shorts?
Salute Your Shorts.
I watched that.
I remember. What was it? Oh,
that cab show.
Yeah. And there was what was that?
Team
Ask.
Pete, I liked.
Oh, like the one with like the stinky armpits.
What was that?
Oh, that's the guy that holds his eyeballs.
Oh wow!
All Real Monsters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are you scared of the dark? Keenan and Kel. I like this.
And the Amanda Show, but for
The Amanda
unrelated
Show.
reasons.
Yeah. I also like iCarly. It's pretty jackable.
Zoe 101 did it
That's
for
what
me.
we're talking about,
Britney Spears has gone downhill.
Whatever, dude.
Has she ever gone uphill?
I love
back in the 90s when
Do
she
we
was
even
fine,
need
like
that?
Bye 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 or whatever, Hit Me Baby, and that was
I
the
feel like
last.
the Paris Hilton thing almost just happened right here with what he
What was
said.
that?
I had a buddy who was just like one of those assholes that would say something like, "Oh, I'd rather push my Dodge than drive a Ford," something like that. And it's just
Bryce
like,
Jenkins
and
is
you're,
like
you're
that.
just
Oh,
like
Nicki Minaj,
yeah.
fucking.
You're
Yeah.
like, okay, if you fucking were like stranded out like in a blizzard and a fucking
Then you
Dodge
would
pulls
not-
up,
yeah.
you just keep pushing your fucking Ford. You wouldn't even hop in the Dodge to get parts for your piece of shit truck. The same type. I had a buddy.
I hate people like that. You're right.
I had a buddy who
the
was
football
like,
teams.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I had a buddy who was like, I was like, so you're telling me if Paris Hilton walked into this house right now, he's like, I wouldn't even let her in my fucking house. And I was like, oh, okay, I get that. So then you're telling me, P.S. your fucking wife's every bit of 300 pounds. She stinks like fucking cheese. She walks in here right now, like pulls your dick out, and so all I want to do is suck you off.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that. I wouldn't even let her touch my dick. Yeah, fuck you, Jeff.
You sound just like Bryce Jenkins
like,
right now.
How about for sure you would,
Oh my God.
or you must be gay. Like, yeah, guys that are just, like, so adamantly against something. It's just like the whole, like the senators that, like, come out and, like, they fuck little boys. Like, so they're, like, huge on, like, anti-gay, like, everything. And then
No.
anyone even brings it up and they're like,
Pastors,
so, like, what
for
do you
sure.
think about gay people? Oh, fuck gay people.
Yeah.
Burn in hell. It's like anyone that's that against something, like, it's a
Secretly
pretty
is
dead
doing it.
giveaway that they definitely love that thing that
Yeah.
they're, like, so against.
It's true.
Because if you're just like, if I'm like, dude, Christian, like, you fuck a dude, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you were just like, haha, whatever, Jeff. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe if he was cute. But if you're like, I'm like, hey, Christian, like, you fucking dude. Fuck you. Dudes, assholes are like the grossest thing in America. Like, I don't even want one on my mouth. Or like, and you're like, I wouldn't even like stick my tongue in one if I had the chance. Like, if you pull yours out right now, pull it out, Jeff. I'll show you. I won't put my tongue in it. It's like, okay, like you for sure want to fuck me, like easy. So what? Does Bryce not like Nicki Minaj?
No, it's always something or someone. Nicki Minaj is his new thing and stuff, but which it's funny because I
He
guarantee.
wouldn't
but
fuck?
well, like half of his Snapchats. No, it's just anything with Wiz Khalifa, Nicki, like that stuff. But then every Snapchat he's been sending is this like gangster rap stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, but you know what? The second that Snapchat ends, he's like, fuck yeah, okay, right, cool. Like he's all about it. Bryce, if you're listening, which I'm going to send this to you, you better know Nicki Minaj has a nice ass.
Oh fuck, dude, Nicki Minaj.
I'm not saying it's a
so
nice
hot.
ass. It's a fucking wild ass. But you can hate it. It's
He's
like
a-
saying Justin Bieber. Oh fuck Justin. But you know, One Directioners, they're all about it too. The second anyone that's like that, like, oh, I fucking hate this song. Turn this shit on there. Now there are songs I absolutely hate because it's just what is that one? Something about hookah that's out right now. It's the word. It's like I don't even know the name of it. Anything like that that I hear, I hate.
The only thing that would stop me from fucking Nicki Minaj is like how just ridiculously small my penis would look, like pressed up against her
between
butt
those ass cheeks.
Yeah. Like it looks small enough, like in my like meaty palm. Like I wish I had like more feminine fingers like yours to beat off with. But like it's just like I just hate like yeah, I don't know. That'd be the one thing that I'd just be like, I don't. Can we try a position where my dick doesn't keep falling out?
And I love that half of this. Pretty much, she sticks it in you, I guess, right?
Yeah, there's nothing worse than when like a girl like just got
Wants
done
to do a
reading like
strap-on?
chapter like 12 of like 50 Shades of Grey. And she's like, let's try this one, and you're like, like there should have been like. But at the starting of every chapter, there should have been like a penis length needed to pull that move off because it just keeps falling out and like bending on the rim. Like this isn't fun for either of us. Like if you got to do that move with like your index finger where you like almost like increase like the length of your vagina canal, like to make sure my wiener like gets funneled back in like every time. Like let's just stop doing that move.
How's 69? Fuck. Kinky shit. Kinky
On that
shit.
note,
Yeah, so maybe that's where we
can end it there. We'll end it there. Anyways, send us on if you haven't joined our Facebook group, Walking Among Apes.
I'm
podcast,
sorry I talked
join
too
it.
much.
No, you don't.
Everyone.
You didn't talk enough tonight, which was
I'm sorry,
surprising.
dude.
yeah, I felt like we
Fucker.
barely heard from you.
Yeah.
tonight.
I want to do a walking. No, what is it?
Wasatch Frontin'. We're coming back. We will
Okay,
be
good.
coming back.
Good. Do it. Get Jake on
Soon.
board.
I don't know.
Steal him if you need to. Fucking kidnap him. Sounds like, but that's what. Well, Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for fucking listening. I want to talk to Jeff about something. All right. Thanks for tuning in, fuckers.
Peace out.